Now who wanna move on? If you got stripes and you let the city know you rock them, yeah, we got them.
What's up?
What up?
Welcome to Bengals and Brews, and I am Pork Chop. I am a co-host. Gregory is a co-host to my to this side over here.
This side, never get it happens all the time with me too.
Dale is also maybe coming. I don't know. The texts are kind of confusing to me.
Yes, they are.
First at his house, and so he wasn't going to be able to make it because he was fixing that.
Right.
And then, did it get fixed? I was sleeping.
I don't know, but our other guest Daniel, he says he's having Wi-Fi issues, and he says he's going to be on as soon as he can. But as of right now, I think today would be the only thing we do not have issues right now with is Midwest Best Barbecue and 50 West Beer, proud sponsor of the show. You never will have one single issue with any of those sponsors. Chop, how we doing on this good old happy Friday?
Man, we're doing good. And here you throw out the barbecue sauce, and then people start coming. You know what I mean?
Everybody's going to come. I say Midwest Best, West, and Daniel shows up. How you
doing, man?
Midwest Best. Daniel, have you had the Midwest Best chicken wings?
I actually have not yet.
Oh, my God, dude.
I mean, I've seen it on every single one of you guys' shows. I have not yet. Where's it
at?
Right.
Where do you live at in town? What part of town do you stay in?
We're in Milford.
All right, so you're close, man. It's right off the Ward's Corner exit.
Yeah, really? It's right near you.
Yes.
Never even seen it. Oh, I gotta try it out. Got to get a new customer in.
I'm telling you right now, they got the cheat code on chicken wings.
Really?
I'm telling you. They got cheat code on chicken wings. I feel dirty because Wild Mike's is my thing. I live here in Delhi, so we die with Wild Mike's, and I feel like I'm cheating on my wife or something when I eat their chicken wings because they're so good.
I mean, yeah, we've had a bunch of these wing spots, but I'll be honest, I've never tried Midwest barbecue yet. So
Midwest
this week, to be honest.
Start off with G-Funk. Go down there and get the G-Funk wing. It's a signature wing, and it's won awards all over the country. G-Funk.
G-Funk? Is it spicy, though? I can't do spicy.
It's not spicy.
No, it's not spicy at all.
It's like a ranch and a teriyaki kind of mix.
Right.
A little Cajun. Not spicy. As a matter of fact, we just did a draft party down there, Project Game Day, raising money for to send adults with disabilities and veterans to games. And one of our guys that is always in the chat here, Matt, was like, this guy here says, I can't do spicy. And I said, get the G-Funk.
All right. Regrets. Perfect. I'll be trying that out. I'll make sure I tag you guys on Twitter and all.
Anyway, this is Daniel. He works with Malik Wright over at First Star Logistics. They're hiring, right?
Yes, of course. Of course.
They're always hiring.
You guys see the little backdrop? We got a new studio. I wish show you guys a little more, but we did our full draft party here, and we had Dave Lapham and the whole crew here. So it was a good time. I mean, we just walked in. They got a big old board on their, as soon as you walk in. So it's crazy studio. It's crazy that we're actually here. So it's been a long time coming, but yeah, man, I'm excited.
Well, that's good, man. Is that all you do is just that?
No, so we actually run a sports media company called the Right Way Sports Network. So
nice.
we've got a team of, 30 plus writers, content creators, doing pretty much everything you guys can think about, racing, football, basketball. So we got that going on. We do our sports betting content as well. And we've got our shows here with First Star. So a lot of cool stuff. Blessed to be in the position I am in, to be honest.
So were you raised in the Cincinnati area?
No. So I actually grew up in California. So I grew up in California.
Where
at? Ventura County, like an hour north of LA.
So what's your team for real?
So, I mean, I grew up a Patriots fan, like
California.
So I grew up a Patriots fan. I was always huge. Like I don't know if you guys know, I'm not the biggest dude. So like when I never played actual football, I played flag football. So my favorite players were always the smaller running backs, the Danny Woodheads. My favorite player was actually Giovanni Bernard growing up. He was the guy. So that's where I loved him. And I also loved, just draft scouting. So one of my other weird guys that just random from California, but I was like, George Iocca. He was the guy. I was like, for no reason at all, I was a huge fan of him. And so I grew up Patriots fan, Celtics fan, but I mean, obviously moving here and working with Malik, I mean, grew to love the Bengals as well. So
how'd you find this job in Cincinnati all the way out there in California?
So Malik actually grew up in New Jersey. So I was making Instagram content, in California, and then he found me and it's like, you got a lot of untapped potential. I was yelling at my phone, going crazy. I was huge into basketball. So that was, the trades, the Kevin Durant rumors, the whole free agency. I was yelling at my phone, making crazy videos, and then just started working with him, and, getting more disciplined, if you will, learn how to write, learn how to edit videos, the whole 9 yards, learn how to interview people, got the experience, went to training camps, covered Arizona State football. So did pretty much everything under the sun, just got reps and reps and reps of podcast work, making videos, editing videos, making video packages, whole 9 yards. So ended up, obviously Malik, Bengals fan, Malik, working with, the whole Bengals Twitter and everything. And then we got the opportunity out here with First Star before we even lived out here. So once we got the chance with First Star, we moved out here, packed up everything, moved from California. He moved from New Jersey. And then we're here, Cincinnati full time, baby.
Very nice, man. Well, it's the best city in the United States. So welcome to it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Dale. What's just saw you join. Appreciate you guys for having me on as well. Thank you.
Let me just say this real quick about Dale, that he's not going to say himself. All right. What would you think, Daniel? Like, if you're like, what would be a good number out of my top 100? If you like on your top 100 board,
I did say it myself. I bragged on myself.
How many players did you hit on your top 100?
Did I hit? I mean,
to be honest, taken in the top 100.
Are you asking for myself?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't put together a full. I didn't keep track. But to be honest, I mean, I wouldn't even know, to be honest. Like, I mean, I thought for me, the draft always falls differently than how I view players. A lot of times I will drop guys that I feel like are way in the 6th round, the 7th round. I'll put them up there in the top 100. So I wouldn't really know the number, to be honest.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm just going to brag on Dale for a minute. He hit 82. Out of the top 100 were drafted in the top 100. He did good job. This man lives, breathes, and eats the draft. He's already eating 2025.
It's already got to start, man. It's a new draft season every year.
No, completely. I mean, because you guys know our producer Marissa. I mean, we were talking about the whole draft, and then she was already looking at 2025. So for me, I need a little break, to be honest, from prospects. I need a little. Hey, like give me a couple weeks. But no, we'll be cooking up, and I personally just love looking back at players that were drafted too high, or even looking back, like I went back and rewatched Miles Murphy's film and Chase Brown's film from Illinois and then Clemson, just to see because we're actually gonna do a film breakdown on the sit down and First Star media group of those guys, and just seeing what did we not see out of them year one, and what did they show in college. So personally, that's what I like doing, is seeing guys that I miss on as well. Like a guy that I miss on was Justin Herbert. I thought Justin Herbert would not be a superstar quarterback. I thought he'd be, an average, high upside guy, but I wasn't a huge fan of him. And then I went back and rewatched. Okay, it's because of what Oregon was showing. I bought too much into that. And now I look at it as like, okay, you can't buy too much into what they're being asked to do. It's, you got to kind of project of what they're going to do in the future.
Hey, you might be right on Herbert, though. What's he won yet?
No. Trust me, I'll say this year, they're going to shock a lot of people. Harbaugh has done a great job over there, and I'm very confident but I'm very confident I'll say the Chargers will make the playoffs this year. No questions about it. No question about it. I mean, it is tough in the AFC, but I'm very confident.
You don't think it's the Raiders? Man, they got those 2 elite tight ends in the last few years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean that's a whole conversation too with Michael Mayer. I don't think he'll be long for Vegas, to be honest. He wasn't drafted by the regime, and he's a talented tight end. I wouldn't be surprised if teams come calling about Michael Mayer, because you just drafted Brock Bowers and their regime did not draft Michael Mayer. And I think he's a solid tight end. And I wouldn't be surprised if a team came calling and added him as their tight end 1.
Unless Brock Bowers is just wide receiver 2 for them, basically, and then Mayer's the traditional tight end.
I mean, you never know. They got to figure out the quarterback position, so they got a lot of questions to figure out.
Oh yeah, they need a draft pick next year, but that draft class isn't looking good early on.
They need to. I mean, Dale's told me that the quarterback class next year does not look good, but
there's always somebody that surprises, though. I'll say that every year.
Whoever's the best one, they need to not win games so they can get whatever is the best one. It reminds me of, like, you remember the year that the Steelers took Kenny Pickett. There was no first-round quarterbacks in that draft either.
Yeah, and that's where teams will always reach for quarterbacks, and I feel like partly that's why the Falcons reach, because they saw a lot next year's draft class say, hey, let's go get our guy now. So
that just makes no sense. They could have, they got a guy on 4 years. They could, you're just going to look at next year's draft. You just signed a guy for 4 years.
Two guaranteed. Guaranteed money, but still, I think Phoenix is pro ready. That's the part that made the least sense. Was like you could have went with McCarthy, who's like 3 years younger, or this, that, and the other potentially, and developed that. But Neither here nor there.
Yeah. So what about our draft, Daniel?
Yeah, let's get into that. So let's start at the top.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah. No, of course. So I mean, if we want, you guys just want to start at the top, Amarius Mims.
Yeah. We'll start. Amarius.
Amarius.
So,
We don't want to
call
piss
him
that
Amarius
guy
the
off.
whole time, and I'm like,
No.
come on, man.
So let me just say this. We talked about this on State of the Jungle. Obviously, that's on both YouTube channels. My journey with Amarius, actually, I was not a huge fan of him. And for me, it was, hey, I don't want to draft a guy in round 1 who only showed me 8 games of starting film. I've come around to it. And my biggest take, and for everybody watching, we appreciate you guys watching, it's what was the alternative? Who else could you have taken? Jerzon Newton, very talented guy. There's a reason why he fell to the second round. My only guy that we talked about, Jared Verse, I'm very confident Jared Verse will be a stud. The Rams, you go watch it, what they just posted on YouTube. They did a full breakdown of, the whole entire draft class. They were clapping their hands as soon as Jared Verse fell. He is going to be an absolute stud. So for me, if I was in the front office, that would have been a tough conversation. Mims or Verse. The difference is I understand what the Bengals coaching staff is thinking. Hey, we just drafted Myles Murphy. He is going to get a shot this year. And that's why my biggest takeaway truly from the draft is it's Myles Murphy or bust season, to be honest. This is, and I hate to put pressure on him, but hey, this is his season. This is his.
I think Osai too. Like I think they're expecting Osai to contribute.
Yes.
Even though this will be the last year of his deal. And then if he plays good, he's going to walk or get a big contract.
Yes, and I think he will contribute. But for me, the Myles Murphy pick is that, hey, he's the only guy I truly see as being a potential star edge rusher. I mean, we'll get into it in the film breakdown, but he's the only guy. Joseph Osai, in my opinion, he will be a solid rotational piece. I don't think Osai will ever be a superstar like a Trey Hendrickson is. So I think Myles Murphy is the guy. Hey, you're putting all your eggs in Myles Murphy's basket, and I don't. That's the tough part for me of the pill to swallow is, hey, you're letting Jared Verse go. On the flip side, I'm very confident in Mims' size, prototypical 6'8". The dude is athletic. And to be honest, I would not be shocked if they tried him at guard this year. I understand all the conversation. Yes, he didn't look like a guard. He is 6'8". It doesn't make sense to put him at guard.
Whitworth.
Yeah.
But we've seen it time and time again. A dude that athletic.
That's the example.
I would not be shocked if they gave him, especially just try him out in training camp, see what he can do, see if he can go out and beat Cordell Volson. Like I would have no issue with slotting him in at left guard or right guard and saying, hey, like let's go, just get him some reps in. So round 1, I'm not mad about it. The only conversation I would have is Jared Verse, because I think we'll be looking back 4 years from now saying Jared Verse is a top 10 edge rusher in the NFL.
Dallas
Mitchell. Dallas Turner went one spot ahead. He would have been in the conversation, obviously, too, if he would have still been on the board. But Quinion was the other guy for me, too. So it's like Jerzon, Quinion, and then Amarius.
Yeah.
And anytime you go with protecting Burrow, I don't think that's a bad thing, especially not with a guy with all pro potential. It's just a lot of questions with the play, how much he's played, and then coming off the injury. But overall, there's a lot to love with this pick.
Yes. This pick could have went so much south, in my opinion. Like you said, the corner, I thought that would have been, not to discredit the player, but look at the corners on the board. If you were thinking corner, trade back. Go get Jerzon Newton. Go get a corner, because look at the guys who fell. So with the way it played out, I don't think a lot of Bengals fans are even hating on it. I think this was a very solid pick, and I'm happy with it.
Yeah. Even Newton, who we all wanted, fell to the second round. And you could have theoretically traded up and went after him. So
I will say Jerzon Newton was a steal for Commanders. A lot of Commanders fans are hating on this guy.
That's Chop's new favorite team because he's the LSU guy.
Jerzon Newton and their defense, if the Jaden Daniels pick goes right, and in my opinion, I think Jaden Daniels, I've got mixed feelings on him. You have to surround him with talent, and you have to build that offensive line.
That's about as much of a guarantee in the NFL as you can get, Daniel.
Jaden Daniels?
Yes.
That's
my boy.
I disagree. Quarterbacks are not a guaranteed. And that's for me. I personally, you look at a guy like Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is the closest thing to a guarantee. I think you look like him, you can fit him in all 32 teams and he would have success. Look at the Bengals roster that year. I don't think a Jaden Daniels would be the same. And that's how I don't view any of these quarterbacks in this year's class as the same. I think Caleb Williams will be seriously successful. You got Odunze, you got Keenan Allen, you have DJ Moore, you have Cole Kmet, you have DeAndre Swift. in the NFL, in order to succeed as a quarterback,
Chase Claypool. Chase Claypool.
Yeah, Chase Claypool
big,
now too.
right?
No, like Claypool, I think he's signed with the Bills today.
Yeah.
Oh, Bills. My bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
So, like in the NFL for quarterbacks, you have to surround them with talent. Even look at Trevor Lawrence. As much of a surefire pick he was, he didn't have success until they truly brought in weapons. So, to be honest, and that's what, man, I'm going to disagree with you. I think Jaden Daniels will be successful, but I don't think he's a surefire pick. You have to surround him with talent because, like I said, the dude takes a lot of hits. He's got a lot of work to be done over the middle of the field. So I'm confident in Cliff Kingsbury, though, for him to work with. Him to work with. Listen, I'm just gonna be honest. Like, I
know.
I love that we're disagreeing.
Hey, we get. I'm a Buckeye fan, so me and Chop with the LSU
right.
thing, we're always busting balls.
Look, I exaggerate a little bit just for fun.
No,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know that no player is the cheat code. No player is a guarantee.
Yeah.
But my boy Jaden Daniels going to turn them Commanders around.
Also, the thing with that too is I'm a little. I watched him up close and personal at ASU, so I covered them, and got talk. He's a great dude, by the way. Great dude, very humble, I will say. But I saw a lot of rough things with him in the fourth quarter of, hey, and albeit he is a much different quarterback than he was before. My concern was, hey, when the game broke down, when the play broke down, his eyes went down. His eyes outside of the pocket went down. When their offensive line was terrible, I saw what happened. He faltered under the pressure because they had a terrible offensive line at Arizona State. So that's my concern. Yeah. And I hope that gets fixed. I hope they build a great offensive line. And like I said, if you have a great situation around Jaden Daniels, it'll be tough for him to fail.
LSU and Michigan's been known for the top lines. They've been the one winning the awards year in and year out. So that's definitely a good point to bring up about it. But speaking of good lines, I think we're building one here, Trent Brown. So I really like the Mims pick. Did you guys do grades? I ended up going with the B+. These guys talked me into an A-, but grades are a joke.
Yeah, so we didn't do grades on the State of the Jungle, but we all are pretty much in unison. So Evan was a huge fan of Amarius beforehand, and then Malik and Logan, we obviously discussed it. We're a huge fan of it. At the end of the day, people want to – I don't know if fans are bashing on the Bengals offensive line, but looking at how it even performed last year too, it was fine. It wasn't terrible. So the Bengals offensive line, I'm confident this year. The fact that you have Amarius and he's not even slated to be a starter this year, the Bengals are in a very, very good spot.
Well, Daniel, I know there's one particular player you guys were very, very happy. We'll get to him in a little bit.
Yep.
But I know there's one player you guys were very happy about. But let's get – I guess we should get to the next one, Chris Jenkins from Michigan. I mean, DTs were going off the board left and right. I was like freaking out. I'm like, oh, no, what are we going to do here? It's like one by one. They just kept going and going and going. And I couldn't even look at the board anymore. I was just getting too nervous. And once we got there, we got Chris Jenkins. I was like, thank you. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, what was your reaction on Chris Jenkins?
So my takeaway from this, and it's a unique one. This pick taught me a lot about how the Bengals like to draft, to be honest. And it's not necessarily going best player available. Chris Jenkins very well could have been the best player available, but they do look a year in advance, as well as they look at, hey, what's the depth of the defensive tackle class? And I was a huge fan of Michael Hall. Is Michael Hall going to step in day one and be a run stopper? No, he's a pass rushing specialist. He's a young dude. The dude is 21 years old. So for the Bengals, is that what you need right now? Not really. You look at guys like Dwayne Carter. I was a huge fan of him, but does he have the upside of a Chris Jenkins? No, he does not. And as well, they're a huge fan of captains. They're a huge fan of guys who have been there before and done it. And Chris Jenkins played at the highest level that you possibly could. So my biggest takeaway is, hey, this showed me how the Bengals like to draft. You want to see a guy who can perform at the speed of the NFL level. Look at a guy who played at the highest level in 2 playoff games. That's the most real experience you're going to get at a fast-paced game. So for me, Chris Jenkins is a floor. He is a floor pick because his floor is a run-stopping defensive tackle. That's his floor. His floor is a high-effort, high-motor defensive tackle. And that's what I saw. I wasn't a huge fan when I saw him, of his runs, his run-stopping ability. When I first watched him, I was like, okay, he's flashy in his pass rush moves. He's got a good repertoire. He's got a nice spin move. He's super athletic. He's super strong. But I wasn't really looking at the run game until I rewatched him again. So Chris Jenkins, high floor. And I think his ceiling really can be a very solid defense tackle. Would not be surprised if the dude could put on 20 more pounds as well. So Chris Jenkins, I wasn't in love with the pick. It really has grown on me, though, because I like the other defense tackles later on. Chris Jenkins, very solid pick. I struggle to see how in 3 years we're looking on that as a bust.
What tackle that was available would you have taken if it's a tackle at 49 and it's not Jenkins? Which one were you targeting?
So for me, my thought process was, hey, skip out on defense tackle there, go round 3. I will be honest, though. If Tavondre Sweat, and this is why I'm super confident, if Sweat was there in round 3 for the Bengals, even in round 2, I would not have been shocked if they would have taken him. Yes, maybe the Bengals knocked him down a round because of, his personal issues. I completely understand that. But when you're looking at defensive tackles, it really was Tavondre Sweat is a game changer. It was Tavondre Sweat is the type of player that you're not going to get out of Dwayne Carter, out of a Leonard Taylor, out of a Rukaroro. He was a massive dude. You look at his a stat that I love personally is batted balls. We see that all the time in the AFC North. You look at what did the Pittsburgh Steelers dominate the Bengals? Year after year. That defensive line, they just bat Joe Burrow's balls. Tavondre Sweat would have done that. So.
Chop, why you laughing?
I'm thinking that's a clip.
Continue, Daniel.
No.
Sorry, man. I'm a kindergartner.
No, you're right. If I was the Bengals, it really would have been, hey, there was some other, offensive linemen, interior offensive linemen that were on the board you could have looked at. But at the end of the day, I'm happy with the pick. So if we're talking grades, I think it's very hard to grade guys now. Very high upside and very high floor. It's a solid A pick for me. Like, there wasn't a guy that the Bengals missed there. It was like, damn, he would have been a stud. If anything, it's not trading up for Newton. But
yeah,
man, I'll tell you, I was glad to see Mason Smith and Fisk go before that because I wanted Jenkins.
Well, because you're a homer with Smith, but
yeah, my homer was Smith. I would have been happy with Smith. I felt like he had a down year from the injury, and he's going to play really good. I still think that, but I wanted Jenkins.
Well, he went to a great situation with the Jaguars because they had an Armstead. He can learn from him. That's just what they're known for.
Jaguars got 3 of my boys from LSU. They got.
I will be honest. I was not a fan of the Jaguars draft, though. I think they reached on those guys.
It's because all the LSU guys. LSU sucks. I agree.
I think that's. I think like Brian Thomas is a solid pick for them. I think that they reached, and at the end of the day, I just don't view the Jaguars roster as being able to compete with these other top dogs. I think the Texans have a better roster. Hell, I think if Will Levis cooks up this year, I think what Brian Callahan's done over there is really stepped up to the plate. And I wasn't a huge fan of the J.C. Latham pick, but you cannot doubt what Callahan and the offensive line. He's a guru over there, right? So with them getting Sweat and J.C. Latham, they got Calvin Ridley, they got a whole bunch of guys over there. I wouldn't be shocked if the Titans really stood out. It depends on Will Levis, and they apparently is that confirmed Tyler Boyd, right?
I thought it was yesterday.
They said I think he's expected. I don't think
it makes sense. Brian Callahan will slot him in right away.
He's got somebody in there that knows his offense that can get in there and help train the other guys. So that seemed like a no-brainer to me right off the get.
Completely.
So Daniel, 3rd round. I don't know. I know you guys don't know much about this guy in the 3rd round. I know you probably you don't want to talk about him. I just remember you guys for like 2 months were harping on when I heard Drake Burton, I'm like, Malik must be loving this right now. Wow.
So
a lot. But so just to go elaborate.
That's right. You guys got Alabama homers. It's Malik and who else?
Evan.
That's right.
That's right. So I know you don't have too much to say.
Listen, I wouldn't necessarily call it homer. I mean, I know you're a big LSU. Are we going to call you a homer?
Yep. Might as well.
Listen, man, we were ecstatic, and it was pretty cool seeing all the reactions to Lapham and Goodberry and obviously Malik and Evan on the draft party here. They actually pretty much all called the pick, saying Jermaine Burton potentially could be the pick. Listen, for me, Jermaine Burton is a guy you slot him in. I have no question he's the 3rd best wide receiver immediately. I have no question that the dude has the talent. And when you turn on the tape, and this is for everybody watching, right? You have to scout wide receivers as, for me personally, and this may be a messed up way to do it, I say, what are they not doing? What is going to be their ability? Why will they not succeed at the NFL level? Just when I, look at mixing and matching guys, Troy Franklin, why did he fail? Or, why did he fall? Why would he not have been a better fit in the Bengals? he's not as versatile as a guy like Jermaine Burton. He doesn't have as good of hands as a guy like Jermaine Burton. He wasn't asked to do what Jermaine Burton was. So for me, I look at a guy like Burton who can play in the slot. He can play outside. And for me, the dude has elite hands, and he showed the ability to do what next level receivers have to do. Show me your ability to run out breaking routes. Show me your ability to catch sideline passes. Show me your ability to win 50-50 balls. Show me your ability to put 2 feet down in the end zone, not just one. And I'm sure all you guys know this, college only requires you to put 1 foot down. But many times when you look at guys who translate, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, those guys were taught at LSU, put 2 feet down, and that translates to the next level. So Jermaine Burton, I have no questions on field that he will be able to step in. And even the character concerns, to be honest, I'm not as concerned as if he would have went to a team like the Las Vegas Raiders or the Denver Broncos. You have a coach in Walters. You have a culture that the Bengals have built. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. You look at how those guys have turned out. I have no doubts that Jermaine Burton is going to step in. Yeah, he might be, not the most mature guy. Even Nick Saban said that. But at the end of the day, am I going to miss out on a guy in the 3rd round? If it's a first-round guy, let's have a different conversation. But how many of these third-round picks are going to pan out? There's 32 third-round picks, or maybe a little bit more. I guarantee no more than 10 of those guys in 3 years are going to be starters at the NFL level. So if we can get a guy that we're saying, hey, that has the talent of a true second-round guy at worst, and say, hey, his only concern is the dude, has character concerns. Am I confident that Zach Taylor and having Joe Burrow and having Jamar Chase and T. Higgins will be able to get him in line? I have no doubts about that. And let's say, worst case scenario, it doesn't work out. It's a 3rd-round pick for crying out loud. If he goes and doesn't show the maturity, and we have to say, hey, Charlie Jones is going to have to play the slot. Hey, Trent Irwin's going to have to play the slot. It's a 3rd-round pick for crying out loud. Give me the upside of Jermaine Burton, who I truly think can be a wide receiver too at the NFL level.
Well, I saw a graphic the other day on Twitter, and it had the best wide receiver trios in the NFL, and it had AFC and it had NFC.
Bengals should have been up there.
What's that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
The Bengals should have been up there. Just having
come on, man.
Jamar Chase and even T. Higgins, the question with him, obviously, is health. When T. Higgins is not on the field, we understand that he's not at a fully healthy season. But if we're talking strictly on paper, the best, top 3 wide receivers, maybe they're not number 1, but they sure as hell deserve to be in that conversation. Jamar Chase is in the conversation, top 3 wide receivers. T. Higgins is in the conversation, top 20 wide receivers. Jermaine Burton is in the conversation of being, he deserves to be in the conversation of, definitely one of the best slot guys / number 3 wide receivers. You look at these other number 3 wide
not
receivers.
just slot, man, but this dude can run down the field, man. He can look it down the field. Very fast guy, and 0 drops in his collegiate career. 0 drops. So he's got solid hands. He's a good-sized player, man. He can run routes. He can go deep. I think that, to tell you the truth, man, that this is that Dax Hill for wide receivers. This is T. Higgins' eventual replacement, probably. But in the meantime, I'm salivating to have Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Jermaine Burton out there all at the same time with Mike Gesicki. Man, come on. Joe is going to cook with that.
1,000%. That's where I truly view this year for the Bengals. You put the roster, yes, there's maybe other better rosters, 49ers, because they're not paying a quarterback like the Bengals are paying Burrow. Listen, there is no reason the Bengals aren't in the conversation for top 3 teams this year. There's no reason. This is the Bengals, and it sounds crazy, right? Because I'm sure you guys obviously, grew up Bengals fans, and it's like a lot of Bengals, you want to be, hey, let's lower the expectations. There's no reason, stop. The Bengals are in the conversation of best team in the NFL. You got the quarterback, and sure, you can point out, yes, they don't have a backup cornerback. Yes, they don't have, Cordell Volson people are saying he's a terrible offensive lineman. Look at these other offensive lines. So listen, I am maybe too optimistic about this year, but hey, barring health of Joe Burrow, I have no doubt that this team, hey, look at these other teams in the AFC. They're on the pedestal of top 2 teams, top 3 teams in the NFL. And I'll make the prediction. I'm confident they go to the bowl and win it this year. That's my prediction. But
Dude,
it's early. It's
Yeah,
early.
yeah.
But listen,
It's our destiny year. I've been
Exactly.
saying Joe Burrow in the Superdome. What's he do there, man? He wins championships.
Yeah.
And it's going to happen again. And we're all going to go down there and eat the shit out of crawdads and have some beignets and celebrate.
So it's written in the stars.
Thank you for inviting us to the First Star Logistics Studios suite down there in New Orleans. I appreciate that, Dan. I'm going to take you up on the offer too, sir. I usually don't take charity, but in this case, I'm going to go ahead and hang out with y'all down there. I appreciate that.
Hookers
Y'all
are
here
appreciated
live on the show.
But Daniel, and another thing is Chase can also play the slot. That's the cool thing about Burton. You can have him play the slot and play the deep, be a deep threat also. And Chase does a lot better in the slot, so that's another great thing to have with Burton. But my main question to you is, if you had to compare Burton to an NFL receiver right now, who would you compare him to?
That's tough.
Yeah, that's random.
Tough. I remember watching him, and this may have been, kind of floated around there a little bit. It's tough because he can pretty much do it all. I know there was definitely, for me, it really was like a Doug Baldwin type of mold of like, hey, you're getting the size. I mean, Baldwin was considered by pundits undersized. When you think about him, he's undersized, right? Oh, no shot in hell that dude can get a 50-50 ball, right? He's 6'5", 11. No way he can run on the inside. Doug Baldwin's your outside wide receiver? No, you guys need a DK Metcalf. No. Saw what happened with Doug Baldwin, Russell Wilson. Russell, one of the best deep ball throwers in the NFL. The dude was a stud. So I would say Doug Baldwin.
Okay.
I hate comps, first off, Greg. So I hate
Greg,
that
fuck
question,
you.
but yeah, shit question, Greg. No, but the way he tracks the deep ball and can go and get it reminds me a little bit of former Bengal Marvin Jones. Like body type is a little bit similar too. I was noticing that the other day. So watching a little bit of Marvin Jones back and watching some of him, I was like, okay, I can see a little bit of that, and I think that's a fun comp too.
No, definitely. And like I said, for all the Bengals fans watching, you guys gonna be happy with the Bengals. Promise you guys. You guys are. It's gonna be a fun year. If you guys are betting people by any chance, look at. Not necessarily. I wouldn't be looking. You can look at Burton's props, but look at Joe Burrow's passing props this year. There's no doubt in my mind. He's gonna be fire this year. So I'm excited for him.
Get shit together. McKinley Jackson. We talked about him. Is that next up? So this maybe for me was a slight reach. I know some of the Bruglers and other people in the world might have had this guy's 6th, 7th round pick. I still had him as a 4th round guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he brings a lot for what they need. If anything, maybe it's a round high for me, but they put themselves in the position that they needed to take somebody that can play a nose tackle type role, at least for some snaps, because you don't play guys at nose tackle a lot anyways. Yeah. But good rotational guy. I'd like it a lot more if DJ Reader was here and he was the Tupou replacement. But Chris Jenkins, even though he's $299, can still give you some run stuffing defense. What's our thoughts on McKinley Jackson overall?
I like McKinley. Took me a little bit. I've got to look at it from the Bengals lens. You look at your defensive line right now. It's in a better spot than it was before, right? Obviously, DJ Reader's not there, but it's in a solid spot. He's a good rotational piece. And McKinley Jackson, I'm with you. When I watched him, there was flashes. I loved his hand speed. I think his ability, to get in and out of the break, to be able to beat the snap many times. That's, for me, the first thing that popped out. So I can understand where the Bengals are coming from, right? The dude is explosive right off the bat, right off the ball. He's got great hands. And like I said, that's the potential I'm seeing with him.
Consistency is my question.
Yes, of course. And that's where you can knock him for that. And that's where, at the end of the day, I want everybody to know kind of how we scout here and even talk about it on State of the Jungle is, hey, we're not knocking the player of McKinley Jackson. We're knocking the overall where it was as a pick. And it really hurt for me because where I personally would have definitely discussed is you got to look at the other players on the board. What's your alternative? I think the cornerbacks like Kyrie Jackson was on the board. I think for me personally,
I like Jackson. I like Jackson. I like Tampa, and then Sanders at tight end. Flipped.
We'll get there. We'll get to the tight end position. Interior offensive line was also the spot that I would have definitely been discussing, whether it's a Tanner Bortolini, whether it was a Mason McCormack. I think those were the spots where I would have definitely – that's why I saw the value in talent. Whereas I think the defensive tackle talent, I think you could have got some of these guys later. I think you could have went for, a guy who went undrafted, Leonard Taylor. I think if you're looking for a rotational piece, I think you could have waited a little bit. But at the end of the day, McKinley Jackson on the Bengals roster, I think he steps in and he will get some run. He'll get 100 to 200 snaps from just being a big body. So we'll see how he performs. This is the pick that I tell people and we discuss where, hey, we have no clue how this pick's going to grade out. We could talk about where else we could have gone. We'll know very quickly, hey, what type of player, is he going to be? We'll know very quickly, hey, is this dude going to be a guy that's specifically a rotational? Or you'll see, hey, is this dude a steal? We'll know this very quickly. And Robert said he will be on rundown, solid pick with all the tackles. Completely agree. It's a solid pick. If we're being honest, though, like I said, I think it was a reach, and I think you could have went other players.
I agree.
But I'm holding out hope, and we'll see training camp. We'll know very quickly about McKinley Jackson. Hey, what type of player he'll be?
He's ready to go, though, man. Came right in. As soon as he came in the door, he's like, "Where's the playbook in my pads?"
Yep.
Yes.
And he's not high, guys. His face just looks like that. Everyone thinks he's high all the time.
Yeah.
Like, man, cut the guy a break.
So the next pick, obviously the talent's there. I think you could say, but the only problem with Eric All is the injury issues.
Yeah.
I think if it wasn't for the injury issues, he could have been a second-round pick, maybe. I mean, he's got the traits. And Daniel, I saw on the show, you like him a lot personally. And it's just the injury issues, I think, with anybody that's, just questioning this pick, right?
Yeah. So for Eric All, what I will say about him, right, and this is the one thing I'm planting my flag on, and I wish I would have seen this a little earlier. Jared Wiley from the Chiefs is the guy where I went back and rewatched his film from TV.
Yep, that was my guy.
Listen, that's where. So the knock you could say about the tight end position, the pick of
tight
Eric
end
All, saying, hey, you maybe could have waited on getting a Jared Wiley. You maybe could have waited on getting Tanner McLaughlin. So for me, that's where I started out super high, and now I'm coming down a little bit just from that standpoint of, hey, like I said, I am so confident. I'm putting this out that Jared Wiley is going to be a star at the NFL level. So confident in that. On the Bengals front of it, though, Eric All, I think, is a very solid pick. When you turn on the film, he's very high risk. And, right, the spine injury is a concern, right? Surgery on your spine never is good. Whatever people want to say, it never is. Yes, he could come back to full health. And, yes, he looked good at Iowa after the injury. But he also had a torn ACL. So, for me, when I saw him, what do I think his ceiling is? I think it could be a starting caliber tight end. I loved his ability. When I saw him in the slot, he beat safeties, he beat corners, and he beat linebackers. His wiggle at the top of routes, his ability. I saw his in and out of breaks was great. Even if it's
he's
like
a good route runner.
Show me a tight end that can make a man miss. Show me a tight end that can, at the top of his route, make a guy on an option route, whether he's going inside or outside, make the read and break off and get separation. He showed me that. His after the catch ability, it's good. It's not great, though. So for Eric All, for me, that's where I'm looking at it. Solid hands, can go high point the ball. I think it's a high upside pick. I'm a fan of it. But like I said, definitely looking back on it now, seeing Wiley on the board, seeing McLaughlin on the board, is, hey, maybe you could have went Bortolini there. Maybe you could have went McCormack there. So I like the pick. At the end of the day, we'll discuss this in a little bit. The tight end room is 10 times better than it was before, and you've got to be happy about that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not all one-year deals now, like it kind of has been. Even Sample, whether he's an H-back, fullback, whatever you want to tight end, whatever you want to classify him as, 3-year deal. He's here. He's a good blocker. Can give you something, and there's trust and faith in him as a player.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll move on to Josh Newton. I liked him. I had him 5th round, but coming into the season, when you do the early stuff from the year before, he was a guy on a lot of the first-round mocks and stuff. Yep. He had a little bit of a down season. He's very physical, sometimes too physical. Even the plays that they're shown in the clips when he's drafted, it's like, well, that could get called in the NFL. That could get called. But there's a lot to like with the kid. And he's played a lot of football, 2 years at TCU, 3 years at Louisiana Monroe before that.
Yeah, so Josh Newton, and once again, I think we've got to temper expectations because at the end of the day, even as we're having this discussion, right, Bengals pick 10 guys. The Bengals will be lucky if 4 of those guys are starters. Lucky. So when we discuss, these picks of a Josh Newton, when we discuss these picks of, a Matt Lee, when we discuss these picks of McKinley Jackson, when we look at this class from 3 years, it is so rare that you can look at 6 or 7 of these guys and say, holy crap. And if you can, it's a draft like the Lions had last year, right, where they got their linebacker of the future. They got their running back of the future in Jahmyr Gibbs. They got, their safety, Brian Branch. It is so rare that you get stars and solid starters. So for me, I say all that to say Josh Newton's a rotational piece. I think he's solid.
Yep.
I saw it's definitely a weird comp, but I remember watching J.C. Horn from South Carolina, and he was super physical, more physical than Newton is. But I remember seeing some of the plays in the end zone when a wide receiver is breaking back towards the ball. I saw Newton get a little handsy there. Newton is very solid all around. He can play the slot. He can play outside. He played outside mostly. So I think Lou's got a plan for him. I think he is a rotational piece, and I think he'll give you good snaps. I don't think he'll ever be great. He's solid. So for me, this is one of the picks that I personally look at and say, hey, it's whatever. It's good.
Right.
This is the filler picks in the draft. So that's how you kind of got to look at it. And listen, if Josh, if he comes out and shuts me up and proves to be a star, good for him and good for the Bengals. But for me, I'm tempering my expectations with this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Plus, I think our corner room's pretty good right now.
Well, is it though? Because that's my thing. That's the one position I think they still should have brought in a veteran. So before we move on to the next pick, do you think they should still look at a veteran corner? Because I mean, you can't be completely sold on DJ Turner. Chop, I know you loved him too.
Yeah.
Dale, I think you hit the nail on the head there. I think that's where, if you want to discuss a weak point on the Bengals, and this is for everybody, right? We love having these conversations, right? Because you've got to be able to say, how can the Bengals get better? That's the spot. You look at the cornerback room, it's good. You just rely on Lou Anarumo so much. So for me, it's like, hey, yeah, I would definitely go look at bringing in a guy like Xavier Howard, because DJ Turner, Cam Taylor-Britt, you're confident, sure.
One injury. You're one injury in, Daniel, from all of a sudden you're going, oh, shit, we got Josh Newton in there. That's Hill. Can you play outside corner? Really? Can you really do that?
Well, I do think a veteran presence would be good. Let me just say that, because a veteran presence would be good to have in there with all these younger guys.
Malik!
Who the hell's that guy?
How we doing?
What's up?
What's up, Malik?
Just wanted to say hi.
Well, we were just coming looking at the whole new studio, so got the whole gang here. We got Mercy here as well. So.
Hey, Stephon Gilmore's still out there too, right?
Is he really?
Steven Jackson, Steven Nelson.
Okay, so listen, I think for me, Xavier Howard's the guy. You've got the connection to Lou, right? He was a huge fan of him over there at Miami, because that's what I think a lot of people. This is also so. For me personally, what I love about the draft process and what I love about free agency, we've got a notebook. Like, I'll just start writing stuff down, what to learn for next year. In the draft, what I'll do, I'll write down, hey, this year, what is the consensus going into the draft, right? What are people looking at, right? And just so it gives you a better look of what to expect next year. And that's something for free agency I learned this year. You look at guys like Daniel Hunter. Where did he sign? The Houston Texans, right? Where did he grow up? In Houston. Yeah. So this is the learning process, and something with Lou is, right, he was a huge fan of Xavier Howard. So for me, it would be, hey, I would be looking at him, but I agree. I think the Bengals could, if there's a spot, it's the cornerback.
Didn't Howard say he would take less money to play for a competitor too? Wasn't that him that said that?
At the end of the day, at the end,
I mean, he said it.
At the end of the day, it's May and he's not on a team. So
we don't know about Ivy coming off the ACL late in the season, when he'll be ready. That's the big thing, because I do like DJ Ivy, and I like him a lot flashes. Too. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, listen, he was a 7th round pick. So it's like, once again, are you relying on him? If you have a chance to go out and get a free agency guy, you go out and do it 1,000%.
100%.
Yeah. So. And another connection with Howard, Daniel, Charles Burks also coached him in Miami. Yeah. So that's interesting right there.
Like I said, I don't know if the Bengals necessarily will. I don't know that, but listen, if there's a spot on the roster right now, you could say, hey, where do they need to improve? Cornerback would be the spot.
Yeah. We'll move on to Tanner McLaughlin. We'll try to run through some of these late guys, because I mean, you just never know if they're ever going to make the roster. But I like McLaughlin. He's 25 years old, 2 productive years at Arizona after 4 years at some smaller school. I don't remember it off the top of my head. But he's a good pass catcher. He broke some Gronk records at Arizona, so that's fun. He's not Gronk. Temper your expectations. But he's a good, solid guy to add to the room, and him and Hudson could compete if all has to go on the PUP list to start the season coming off the ACL. You got some options. You got a better room. We can talk about tight end room and McLaughlin all in one here.
So I'm super excited. Just like you said, where the tight end room is right now, it's 10 times better than it was last year. First off, you got Gesicki. Super confident Gesicki, but my biggest thoughts on McLaughlin, we talked about this on State of the Jungle, was, hey, knock on wood, you're a Gesicki injury away from McLaughlin stepping in as your best pass catcher. And my take on this is, I think if McLaughlin steps in right away, I think he can put up some numbers. I think he would put up better numbers than Tanner Hudson did last year. And I'm super confident saying that. Tanner Hudson is a solid tight end. He's fine. Why did he look so good? Because you got the Bengals offense. You got Joe Burrow. You have, Jamar Chase. You got T. Higgins. So listen, I'm super confident that McLaughlin can step in day one. He can dominate the seam route, right? You give me three receptions in the middle of the field, 4 receptions in the middle of the field. He can do that for you in a heartbeat. He's got great hands. He's 6'5", and he's got good after the catch ability. I think his after catch ability it's better than Tanner Hudson's right now. So listen, I loved his strength, his play strength at, the top of his routes, his ability to break, off of linebackers. I didn't see a single linebacker that just out-muscled Tanner McLaughlin. So for me, my thought process on him is, hey, if Gesicki goes down, I'm confident McLaughlin steps in day one and can put up numbers for this Bengals offense. So I would not be surprised if that's how this year unfolds is, hey, you got Gesicki, you have Drew Sample, who will obviously be playing a lot, and you got McLaughlin who steps in and because I'm just not confident all this year is going to be, that guy. I think all is see how he performs and see how healthy he is. And we're really going to see for him the upside in year 2. So I'm super confident that one of all / McLaughlin could be very solid producers for this Bengals offense.
Well, what I like most for those 2 tight ends is you have Sample here and you have Gesicki here this year, so they can learn the blocking and the receiving ability a little bit because some of it's natural talent. But you can learn some things from both of those guys. So I think that's a good thing.
And at the end of the day, to be honest, Tanner Hudson, he didn't have a ton of reps blocking last year. You don't listen, these guys, they're both 6'5" too. So they step in, hey, if you need these guys to just give me 20 snaps, right? Give me 20 routes. Right, they can do that in a heartbeat. So I'm super excited. Listen, even if they're not the greatest blockers in the world, throw Sample in there, and you got, if you want to run 12 personnel, go have one. I'm super confident that McLaughlin can do it in the slot, and he can do it as the inline tight end as well. So with this Bengals offense, I'm not too concerned as, hey, I don't have to throw them in the run game and dominate. So I'm confident. I'm super confident in this tight end room. It's probably my favorite room in the entire Bengals team right now, to be honest. Just not the best room, but probably my favorite, most intriguing because you got a whole bunch of different guys on this. So I'm excited for McLaughlin.
Yeah. And then I like Cedric Johnson a lot here in the 6th round, but I don't know where his roster spot is. I would like to see Cam Sample honestly compete against Zach Carter at a D tackle personally, because I thought he always could do that because he did that some at the Senior Bowl, and I think they liked him doing that. He's gotten some snaps there, not really a ton, but to me, I would love to see Cedric Johnson make this roster because he's still 21 years old, highly productive for 4 seasons that he contributed at Ole Miss, and he's 260, so it's not like he's one of these guys that are a 240 pass rusher. He's got good size. He needs to improve his pass rush moves, but he's not bad against the run. There's a lot to like with Cedric Johnson. I don't want to see him. I mean, if he has to go to the practice squad, cool, but I don't want to see him get snagged up by another team trying to get him there because I think he has a ton of potential in 2 or 3 years down the road.
So this is where you got to discuss. This is where training camp is. And Cedric Johnson is a guy where I actually see it's kind of like it's different. I think he's super athletic, but I don't think he's this athletic freak. I think my favorite part about him is definitely he was just productive. Like number one, you always draft guys who are productive, and two, it was just his high motor, his high effort. That's what I loved out of Cedric Johnson. It was truly, hey, show me a guy, give me a mold of a guy that we can work with. And you can't work with a guy whose motor isn't there. So I can work with a guy who's 22 years old. You can work with a guy who's 6'4", 260. You can work with a guy who was productive but didn't flash in the pass rush move. So Cedric Johnson, he would be probably the one that is out of this entire draft class that you can say isn't going to make the roster just because of where the room is. Do we know he's better than Cam Sample? Probably not. Do we know he's better than Joseph Asai? Probably not. But he's going to get a shot. And that's where I'm excited about the pick because it's a 6th round pick. And if you're giving me a mold of a young guy who, like I said, he got reps against great guys. J.C. Latham had, at Ole Miss, they played great competition. So he had 2 solid years of production. And I'm just a huge fan of, hey, give me a high motor guy. I loved his ability to, my favorite thing, my favorite talking point about last year was, hey, Sam Hubbard and the Bengals, you had quarterbacks beating you on the outside. Brock Purdy, multiple third down conversions. You had quarterbacks that had no business beating you on the outside did that. I think a guy like Cedric Johnson is somewhere, hey, I don't think that would not be a problem because many times Jalen Milroe run him down. Many other quarterbacks, Jaden Daniels ran him down. So that would be his ceiling for me. Am I confident that he'll get there? I don't know yet. We'll see in training camp, but 6th round pick, I'm happy.
Yeah, just ignore this, Daniel. no, just ignore it. It's a long point.
No, you can't ignore the dot bot.
Greg. No, it's a stupid dance.
Yeah, Greg made a new dance in high school.
We're not going to be talking about that, but let's talk about the Cedric Johnson's teammate, who we also drafted, Dijon Anthony, correct? So what do you know? You fill us in about him.
So with Anthony, it's I like him. I think he's fine. Like I said, it's a 7th round pick. I think he's good depth. And the end of the day, you got to look at what is these guys' ceiling, right? And the ceiling is simply go look at his game against LSU. He showed me pretty much everything that he could be at the NFL level. It's just, hey, he wasn't a great cover corner. He wasn't a great slot corner. He wasn't great in the run. Many times he went for ankle tackles. Like he's not great all around, or he's not great specifically, but he's versatile. He's an all-around play. He can play the deep safety. He can play in the box if you need him to. He can play the slot cornerback. He's just versatile, and I really think he'll be a solid special teamer. Like
he'll hit the piss out of somebody.
And I hate to really boil it down because I don't like looking specifically at the highlights, but for me, a guy like him, that's my justification is, hey, the dude knocked the crap. And it wasn't just out of Jaden Daniels. Go look at a couple of his other games. I believe it was against Texas A&M. There was another game, but just rock these quarterbacks once they get out of the pocket. So he's a versatile guy. And, Lou Anarumo loves to put these guys everywhere. If I were to make a prediction, I think he's a special teamer guy. And that's where it's 7th round pick. So special teamer.
He gets to compete with Tyson Anderson, who's had trouble staying healthy.
Yeah.
And that's the last safety spot.
At the end of the day, it's my only downside, and we'll get to this obviously when we talk about Matt Lee in a second, but interior offensive line, like I don't think that they stood pat at all 10 picks. This was a pick where I felt like you could have moved up. And that's just me personally. I'm not knocking the Bengals draft process, but that's me personally of what I would have if I was in the building. Hey, get rid of a 7th round pick, move up.
I think that was the consensus at the draft party too. Get interior offensive line help.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That was on day 2. We were all thinking that.
And that's where like Matt Lee saved, and this is where he's pretty much every Bengals fan's favorite pick right now, right? Matt Lee, and rightfully so. The Bengals got lucky. I don't think, and this is why I don't think the Bengals circled Matt Lee and said, "Hey, he is our guy." Because if he was your guy,
earlier,
you would have taken him in the 5th round. So I think the Bengals, what this draft showed me, and this is something, and Todd said it best: smash the like button, appreciate it. Give these guys a like, and make sure you guys subscribe to their channel. So this draft class showed me that the Bengals are confident, and for right or for wrong, they're confident in their interior offensive line. has what is the dot bot?
No,
Everybody say,
yeah.
what's the dot
So,
bot?
so on Fridays, during the end of the shows, Greg will do a little dance for
It's
us.
something I invented in high school, and I told
Hotbot
them
has really caught on with the people
Yes.
who watch this show.
After we get
It's
done
the
with this
new
Matt
Icky
Lee,
No, you
Chef.
don't need to see Daniel.
after we
Absolutely.
get done with this
He
Matt
has
Lee
to
pick,
see it at this point.
you better show.
No,
us.
please
After-
don't.
We're
God
gonna
damn.
get players to do it in the end zone for a touchdown celebration.
No. But yeah. Back
Yeah,
to
we'll
Matt Lee.
continue with Matt Lee because he has the chance to compete with Trey Hill. So he's going in right away to compete for a backup center spot. And I think he should have a decent chance to win it if he gets an actual chance to really compete. Yeah, Trey Hill's been here, but Matt Lee is right up there in talent. Now, I didn't like him in the run game. His size, he's a little thin. But at the same point in time, man, to come in and learn from Ted at center, compete with Trey Hill, if he can make the roster, he could be somebody to watch out for in the future. And that's hard to say when you get to pick 237 in the draft.
So you hit the nail on the head. I like he is a guy. Show me 3 years of production. Show me a guy who didn't move around. I don't need you to move around. You played the same position for 3 years and you were a stud.
Yeah.
You were a stud. You played some great competition. I think he actually played McKinley Jackson, I believe. And McKinley Jackson had one of his lowest graded games against Matt Lee. So he in the 7th round, he is a great pick for the Bengals. And like you said, he can step in day one and be your backup center. Like, I have no concerns. He's not a future pick. He's not a guy where you're hoping that develops into something. He's a guy, hey, the dude played 3 years at college, same position, played 10 plus games every single year. So for me, I'm definitely happy that Matt Lee was picked, and he saved. And this is where inside the organization isn't the same as outside the organization. He saved the Bengals fan base.
Bengals Twitter.
Bengals Twitter.
From an outcry. So,
but not for me. I mean, personally. But
no, I'm a huge fan of it. It's a solid pick.
oh, I like him, but I'm just he's not gonna like come in right away and do something special. Like we could see, it's always like your first 2 days of the draft is where you're hoping you get some guy. If you get anything in day 3, that's a plus.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, and
I think we did get some in day 3.
And well, we took a bunch of swings at it because we had a
Hey,
shitload.
last year at this time, we were saying the only starter that we drafted was going to be Brad Robbins. That was last year.
Even now, we don't know. I mean,
This year, you say 4, and I'm thinking could be 5. Depends on Trent Brown.
if I were to make a prediction,
future starters.
You got a prediction here. Let's hear it.
If I were to make a prediction, I think Mims is the franchise tackle. I
Yes.
think
I agree.
I'm very confident. So for sure, he'll see the life. I'm maybe not for sure, but I'm confident Mims will see
He'll
the
be
life.
a starter next year at the latest.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And so I would not be surprised. Mims is here for a second. Like we'll be discussing him, not like Jonah Williams. We'll be discussing Mims like, hey, this needs to get done. Jermaine Burton, I'm super confident. Even let's say I'm not even projecting next, after this, but Mims will be super productive. Jermaine Burton will be super productive, and I'm confident that Chris Jenkins will be a starter. So for me,
a captain, a team captain,
Yes,
and
captain.
an early contract that they get done like they did with Hubbard.
So if I'm very confident all 3 of those guys will be starters for the majority of their 4-year career with the Bengals at least, and then I'm very confident one of all / McLaughlin's will be the Bengals, not future tight end of the future, but will be a rotational piece in 3 years from now, saying, hey, McLaughlin is making the roster and is still getting snaps for the Bengals. Maybe not be a superstar tight end, but I can see the Bengals re-signing Gesicki for 2 years and running Gesicki / McLaughlin, running Gesicki / all with Drew Sample. And you're telling me, I think that has the potential to be one of the best tight end rooms in the future. So for me, Mims, stud. Jermaine Burton will be a top 30 receiver in the NFL in 2 years. Give me Chris Jenkins, solid floor tackle, and I think one of the tight ends for sure will be a Bengals rotational piece. After that, if that happens, guys,
Right.
this is one of the best Bengals draft class
Exactly.
in the past 10 years. And I think there's a realistic chance that happens.
Yeah, so Daniel, one pick, I was a little disappointed they didn't come away with the running back. I mean, Estime in the 5th round was so close to falling to us. And my question to you is, do you think they will try to find another running back, or do you think they're happy with what they have now with Mullen?
Yeah, I think they're content. Once again, I was in the building. I always love taking a shot at one of these guys. I was a huge fan of George Holani. I think George Holani steps in day one. I believe he's with the Minnesota Vikings. I
Mhm.
believe either him or the Seattle Seahawks. He signed as an undrafted free agent.
Mhm.
This draft class wasn't great, to be
No.
honest, with the running backs. It's either you go for Trey Benson in round 3, or you wait. And even a Will Shipley, I thought, in my opinion, though, Estime, would I rather take an Estime or one of the tight ends? It's a conversation. Braylon Allen. At the end of the day, listen, from my analysis with those two guys, there's question marks about both those guys.
Yes.
Am I confident both those guys can be dominant red zone guys, dominant goal line guys? I'm not confident in that. So I would have liked them to draft a guy, even like a Kendall Milton. If he would have taken place instead of a Dejon Anthony, I would have been super ecstatic about that. My prediction, I rewatched the film and we're doing a film breakdown on Chase Brown. Chase Brown will be a top 15 productive running backs in the NFL this year from straight up yards from scrimmage. I'm super confident that Chase Brown will be not necessarily a workhorse, but I think the dude easily eclipses 1,000 yards, not rushing, total all-purpose yards. And if you can get 1,000 all-purpose yards from Chase Brown, we're cooking. So that is one of my super confident takes this year is Chase Brown. As long as he stays on the field, will be 1,000+ all-purpose yards. He is super explosive, and he's young too, and he's still fresh. The dude, yes, he got a ton of run at Illinois, but from what I saw out of him, maybe we're not talking about him in 3 years, but this season, Chase Brown is going to be one of the most productive Bengals players. I'm super confident in that.
Well, tell me about our undrafted free agent running back that we got, Noah Kane.
Oh, from LSU.
LSU.
Hey, that kid can be a thumper, man.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
That's all you need to say is, yeah.
Listen. These guys are undrafted guys.
Right.
I saw it was kind of weird. I saw I liked his downhill rushing ability. I think he's okay. If anything, out of the two running backs that they got, I think Noah Kane would be the guy that makes the roster. And
you think it's like for short yardage?
If anything, because what I saw out of him, I saw his ability. He could just break tackles downhill. He's not. I mean, he's bouncing outside, sure, but you're getting the downhill. Maybe not short yardage goal line guy. I think he can do that, but maybe it's your early down workhorse, quote unquote. So, he's solid. He's fine.
I don't think there'll be a roster spot for that extra running back because of what they've done with the tight end.
He's the guy that if Zach Moss, knock on wood, gets hurt, you would probably call up.
Right,
Noah, but at the same time,
squad.
guys, am I confident? It's whatever.
Uh-oh.
So I will be honest. Out of the two undrafted free agents, Noah Kane would be the guy to definitely look for. And to give you a mic stand, listen. So this is
Anton wants you to have a
mic
mic stand.
We got the full thing. I'm just doing this right now. We were actually going to set it up, but personally, I love this backdrop right here. I think
now they got a whole new studio. Anton,
so this is a whole new studio. Like I said,
they got a desk now.
I think Anton's saying, do you still have to hold your microphone when you're sitting there?
So this is actually right now. I'm literally just on my iPad right now, to be honest.
Okay.
Oh, he's saying. Oh, so listen, that was
and
the
other shows, like some of your other shows where you guys are.
We got the headsets now. We got the fancy headsets. So
see,
yeah, man, it's pretty cool. So I know in the war room we were all holding our mics, but listen, we got the fancy headsets, we got the helmets, all cool stuff. But personally, this is my favorite shot, to be honest. I think
that's dope.
I think this
That's
is
awesome.
sick. So I'll probably be sitting here for some of our shows. So I'm excited.
All right, Greg, the dot bot man.
No,
Greg, it's Friday.
No.
This is why Daniel refuses to know.
I'll be back. Hold on.
I'll be back. He's got to get his headphones in.
We get some
so
singing
he just
too.
usually screams because we're like, we can't play the music because it's copyright issues.
Right.
So he just screams.
He puts on
and
the
then he
headphones.
dances. And then
Well,
he gets out of breath.
Before we get to that, I just want to say I appreciate you guys having me on, as always.
We appreciate what you guys do, brother.
We definitely got to do some more. But once again, guys, this is and this is what we kind of tell our audience too, guys, is like we're just having conversations. Like this is what Bengals fans need more of, and like I hope that the Bengals fans appreciate what even you guys are bringing. Like this is just fun, energetic conversation. That's what you guys get, even on State of the Jungle. So this is what we're just trying to make it fun. We got some cool things in the pipeline, got some film breakdowns, just this is what we do. This is this is our life. And I'm blessed to, like I said, be in this position. And the fact that even you guys bring me on, I appreciate it.
No, we appreciate you, man. Our show, basically, we just try to be like a bunch of guys met in a bar and we're all just bullshitting. Yeah. I mean, we go off topic a lot.
Yeah.
Hence the dot bot.
And it's unfiltered. Yeah, hence the dot bot about to come up. And it's very unfiltered.
I have to make room around here so I don't get hurt.
Right. You don't want to.
I'm very curious to see this.
Okay, so Daniel, to give you a little rundown, something I did in high school one time, and they all thought it was hilarious, and I just put it in the grave, and then the fans of the show dug it back up, and I could never bury it again. So it's a combination of the robot and the dot, and I'm just going to warn you, man, what you're about to see here is very depressing. But
hey, go for it. I mean, listen, say it with your chest. Be confident. Let's go.
What am I doing here? I'm trying to do the robot.
He's going no music. He's going no music.
I know.
No music. That's all I can do.
Acapella. That's the acapella dot
That's all I can do, man.
Good job, Greg.
Daniel, I'm just going to let you know that this was not meant for the show.
Hey, next time, Daniel, you come on a Friday, we'll get you singing at the same time. Greg will put the headphones
No, I can't say no. We're not trying to scare him off here, okay?
What I'll do is one of the tailgates. I'll do the dot ball with you, man.
Okay,
there you go.
All right. Beat us in lot
hey, you
one.
guys got to stop down to lot 1, and we got free beer, we got food down there. We Midwest Best caters 2 of our tailgates between us and Rally Round the Natty.
Yeah.
Stop down there, man. Sometime get some beers, chicken wings.
No, for sure. The whole crew will. And listen, I'm gonna try you guys the wings out. You said the G
Funk.
Have you had
Grippo, man? Be like
I've
Grippo.
not. I've never had.
You like Grippo chips? Those Grippo
never had them.
Listen, I'm telling you, man. I used to work in radio, so what you guys do? You got to have something similar to that. You got a person that'll run and get shit for you.
Yeah.
Tell them to run and get some shit for you tonight. Go up there to Midwest Best and get those G-Funk wings. You will not regret it. I'm telling you. They got the cheat code on chicken wings. It's
honestly,
ridiculous.
I mean, the fact that you said this from 50 West.
No. The Midwest Best. 50 West, they got great burgers.
Great burgers, great fries.
Some great
what's the one next to Milford, you said?
Midwest Best.
Okay.
It's right near Loveland. Also, their mac and cheese is a must there, too.
Really?
That's where we had our draft
event. Doing this tomorrow, to be honest with you guys. You guys are hyping
mac and cheese and the G-Funk wings, and then get back to us, man, because I'm telling you. You'll be there
I'm writing this down. Mac and cheese, G-Funk. And a little dot bot too. So
and the dot bot. And Tim and Nicole are like salt of the earth people.
Clip that dot bot and get your practice on.
Yeah, Tim and Nicole. By the way, if you ever see them, they're nicest people in the world. They just do a great job owning that business.
We all need to learn it, and we'll do the world's largest dot bot in lot 1.
Hey, thank you for your service, Disc Golf Dad. And honestly, brother, like I'm sure that's an awesome moment for you, man.
Yeah. And by the way, Daniel, we got to remember, it's Midwest Best Barbecue. I used to say Midwest Barbecue myself, and Tim and Nicole's like, Greg, you make sure you put in best, so I scream out best.
Midwest Best Barbecue.
Yeah, the owners are huge Bengal fans. They love the Bengals, and they're great people, hometown people, It's a really awesome experience to go in there and eat, and also, like, we walked in. Okay, so we did go in with Corey Dillon. Right, we walked in with Corey Dillon, but guess who was already there? Jordan Battle was in there eating.
Really?
Yeah, it was a really cool moment.
I'm excited, man. Listen, I'm not the biggest foodie, but if somebody gives me I'm the type of person and this is what we're pretty much we'll cook. Malik's a solid cook. I'm not the biggest cook, but I'm a person where somebody literally lines it out for me and says, hey, get this, and go here, I will do it. But besides that, they say, go here and listen, that's what I personally need. I need somebody to lay it out for me and say, hey, this, and this. And I will do it. So I'm literally within the next couple of days. I'm going.
Well,
I'll be
you're
honest.
welcome.
I mean, what time is it? It's 4:30. Might even
That's
do
what
it
I'm
tonight. So
You're
Well, the
welcome
thing,
in
I
advance.
just messaged you Midwest also, so to give you a little info about them.
There
Perfect.
you go. Greg will come. Greg's on his way to the studio to pick you up and drive
I think
you
I've
up
seen
there.
it before. I think
Oh,
I've
yeah.
definitely driven by. Like I don't know if
Okay.
it's next to like a Panera. Like I think
There's Frisch's right next to it.
Yeah, there's a pressure. It's right off of Ward's Corner. That's the cool thing about it. You can get on and off the highway just like that too.
I'm excited. All right.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
appreciate it.
you guys.
Who day, baby?
Good day.
Good day. Thank you,
See you,
Dan.
man.
Guy's
God
solid
damn,
guest,
Greg.
man. Twice in a row. He just brings it.
Greg just did that.
Crip,
No,
no,
we know.
I for future reference, we
You're
keep
blaming
not
Crip?
stay on
You're
guests this
You're
way.
blaming Crip?
Yeah,
That
Crip,
was
has to
Crip.
keep bringing Crip, man. I don't want to scare off guests this way. Luckily,
Didn't scare him
Daniel.
off. He's going to come do it with you in lot 1 now.
Yeah.
You made a
What
friend.
is everybody trying to
Greg,
do?
imagine if you get Mike Gesicki in the end zone doing the dot ball.
Okay. If Mike Gesicki, all right, we'll get Mike Gesicki do the dot bod. Oh, dear
See,
Lord.
If Mike Gesicki does
that's
the dot
goal
bot,
right now.
whoever sits
For
in
the
front of
Brew
you is going to
Crew.
need to wear their
Brew
poncho.
Crew, y'all got to clip this. You got
Yes.
to tag these players. Be like, first one to do the dot bot is a legend.
That's it,
Straight
man.
up.
You're right, Dale. We need the Brew Crew to clip the dot bot, send it to all the
'Cause they-
Bengal players, and get
Greg's
that in the
probably
end
blocked.
zone.
Greg's probably blocked by most players at this point. Just begging
Oh,
them.
well, yeah, no kidding, because I'm steering them off.
No.
Maybe,
no.
The dot
Maybe-
bot needs to be buried. I need to put the nails back in the coffin. You guys had your shot. I am putting the nails in the coffin and burying it with
No,
cement.
it's just getting started, baby.
Yeah,
No, I'm putting it back in
Revolution.
cement. This needs to stop.
That's
Okay,
and
revolution,
it
Greg.
is the mullet. The people can see the mullet when you start.
Yes.
Look at that mullet, man. You
The
all gotta
mullet,
see that
the
in
dot
person.
bot. Come on,
That
man.
mullet is something in person.
You're
No,
starting
I'm
to
keeping
keep
it.
that tradition.
No,
You just- Listen,
no.
the dot bot's going to be celebrated, Greg, way after
Okay.
you're gone.
I Bengals fans, I got a challenge for you. You get me to 2,000 followers within the next month or two, I will dye the mullet orange and black.
God damn, you need 600.
That's a lot.
That's a lot,
Greg,
Greg.
I don't even know 600 people.
Right.
You guys, you know more people
That's
than I
like-
do.
Dale, literally, his city, it's not even population's not
Yeah,
even
we don't
600.
have 600 people here. In
That's what it's going to have to take. I talked to my barber. He says he would do it for free and all that. Well, no, Dale. Somebody else told me I need to get
So you can do this for free, but you need something out of it when you.
Buddy, all you have to do is just press
This
the
doesn't
follow.
make
Oh, who cares?
This doesn't add up.
Who cares?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the dot bot will not die.
Okay.
And nobody brought the dot bot up but you, Greg. You showed us the dot bot, and we got us hooked. It's
that's
like
what when he was like, "Oh,
Right.
It's like, man, we didn't know what the dot." You brought that dot bot out
Right.
early.
Yeah, but no, but Dale, I believe I forget who told me this. Should I buy a curling iron for my mullet?
It was
it's
Marissa.
already curly.
Marissa,
How
that's
curly
right.
it is.
Because Marissa was like,
Let's just say get it even more curly.
No,
Marissa
you
was
need
like-
some soul glow.
because she said she didn't like. I think she's like, I didn't like it at first, but
That
now
was at
that
first.
you get
Hey,
a curling
Dale,
iron,
he needs that soul glow
Yeah,
for the back of that hair.
maybe.
We'll see, guys. We'll see. But guys, you
Get you
really are
some
pushing. it.
McDowell's with your soul glow.
I'm still waiting on the beard, honestly.
Oh my God!
No, I don't want the beard.
You
Yeah,
don't
I
want
want
the
the
Bengals to win the Super Bowl, Greg?
No, I
Yeah.
know. See, now you're putting words in my mouth.
No, because that was the whole thing. We're like, man, Greg, you get a mullet and you get a
I
beard.
just shaved it. I had to go through 2 razors to shave my 5 o'clock shadow.
Look how much money you're going to save on shaving. You need to save
is-
money anyway.
No, that is true. No, shaving's not cheap.
Right. No more razors. That way you can use that razor money for New Orleans.
Big bearded Greg doing
Yeah,
the
big
dot
bearded
bod,
Greg.
mullet float like a huge mullet. How can the
BBG,
Bengals
put me
go
to shame,
wrong?
Greg.
When you're giving the Bengals that kind of energy, how can they not win the Super Bowl?
Because I want to look somewhat not like a weirdo. Oh my God.
What the fuck?
Uh,
Wait a minute. He's grow your beard. No, because I don't want to look like some kind of weirdo, he said.
No, I didn't mean that. No.
wow.
You guys don't have a mullet, though.
I have.
So did I.
look
Greg, you know what they
fantastic.
call people without beards?
What's that?
Women.
I like to rub myself.
I'm just
Or a
telling
porn
you, man.
stash. Sindustry said a porn. I think I said that.
All right,
too.
all right. How about
I
this?
said to do like a cool.
No,
like,
I don't want
stash
that.
where you
I don't want
twist
that. I
it,
hate
like-
that. No, can we meet in the middle here? What about a goatee? Can we meet in the middle?
How long is this goatee?
What do you mean? Like, do we have to measure my face or something? Or
I mean, how are you going to constantly keep it like really trim, or are you going to let that son bitch go for playoffs?
I have no idea.
You got to let it go. If you let it go, you end up having a fucking goatee like this.
Right.
Hell yeah,
Like,
I'm
yeah,
game.
look,
Should I have like a little Billy Goat beard or something? Or
something like a soul patch. Greg with a soul patch, just the soul patch right here.
All right, important question here. How do you guys like the new field?
What new
design
field? It's all the same.
compared to the old,
right.
old field.
What's new about it?
I'm not even quite sure at this point they really got rid of the old field. They probably just are. They probably took it, shook it out like out back, like shook out the rug, and then they're putting it back. It's the same exact. Oh, that's true.
That's true. That's true.
As a matter of fact, that's a good job, bearded lady.
Kelly grew a beard, but the wife doesn't like it because the gray.
Well, they got stuff you could. They got products you can put in there, Kelly.
That is also true, but
yeah, Fu Manchu. Dude, if Greg did a big fucking Fu Manchu,
I don't want.
I'll
Greg,
give
that'd
you
be pretty elite.
I'll give you $1 a week, man. That's $52.
No,
I'm
not
grab onto that thing and be like,
I don't want to wax mustache. No, I do not want to wax mustache. That is not happening. You guys can forget it.
You don't have to wax a Fu Manchu. It comes out the side and comes down like, and it grows down like this. You don't have to have it long hanging.
It's natural.
It just grows like this. You could do that, man. I can't do it. Believe it or not, even though I got a big beard, it's not thick. Greg, you got that. You could grow a thick beard. You know what I'm saying?
Have you seen his back? You've seen his back. You know what kind of.
Yeah, I envy you.
I got hair in my back. You want to see it? I got hair in my back, all right.
Yeah, here you go.
Let's see it.
No, you don't need to see it.
I just don't understand it, man. I mean, it seems, if this was the old Bengals, okay, but all the fans are like, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want. And they're like, yep, here's the B. And we're all like, for real? Real?
They're like, here's our new field design.
For real?
It's the same as the old field design.
It's the exact same. Well, we wanted something so when people think about it, as soon as they see it, they'll think the Bengals. It's a fucking letter. I think a kindergarten where I learned the alphabet.
Well, I think like, the stripes and the collars and the, where I'm at kind of, also.
Yeah. Hey, look, a giant fucking leaping tiger on a field doesn't make you think about Bengal tigers at all.
No.
Nobody would look at that.
Can we talk about something else, Bengals fans? Why is it Jermaine Burton? Guess what, guys? It's just a number. Who cares?
No, we care.
I care. I care, Greg.
1, 2, 3. Let us complain, Greg.
When he game-winning pass in the Super Bowl, he's wearing number 81.
Pat said he gets accused of being a company man. You're a company man, Greg. You're always like, oh, you guys can't complain about anything. We can't complain about turf. We can't complain about numbers. We can't complain about anything. But who
cares?
We do.
I do.
Oh my God! Okay, you mean to tell me?
It's very important to me, Greg.
No, Dale. You mean to tell me if he catches a game-winning Super Bowl pass?
Goddamn right.
He's wearing the number 81. I don't like that.
He would look a lot cooler wearing the number 3.
It would.
Right.
It would.
In the Super Bowl, and they got 5, 1, 3, 2. Oh, the T-shirts, pork chop, the T-shirts.
My T-shirt sales, Greg.
When
I can't feed my kids, you remember how you didn't fucking care.
It would. I agree he should wear number 3. I want number 3 too.
Yeah,
but
Greg's
guess
making
what?
fun of everybody in the chat.
I'm not making fun of everybody in the chat.
You fucking crybabies want number 3.
At the end of the day, a number is a number.
Greg's favorite number today is 81, and his favorite letter is B.
Yeah, I can go with that.
Mine would have been 3 in the Leaping Tiger.
Yes, I agree.
But whatever. I mean, look. Yeah, am I going to go down there and be any different towards the Bengals? Hell no. And I'll get over it, but it hurts a little bit right now. What hurts is that the man was literally numbered. It's not like they moved in a number to make 513. He was the number 3. I mean, usually when college players come and they can keep their number, they do a lot of times. I just figured this was like a mulligan. It was already happened. and then they come out with the 81. It was a shock to me.
I admit to
We
you guys.
have our
Look,
Oh,
Get
the
our
truth's coming
5-1-3
out.
trio.
The truth's coming
I
out.
wanted 3, but I'm not
Yeah, the
complaining.
truth came out.
I wanted 3, but I'm not complaining.
Well, I am complaining, Greg,
We're
because I got kids and a wife,
do.
and so
Well, cry me a
I'm
river,
complaining.
child.
I am crying you a river. God damn it! Get your rubbers on, because it's about to get fucking wet.
I got many more things to worry about.
Get your rubbers on.
Yeah, like it's Friday and it's Calzone Day, right?
Actually, that might be.
Just trying to get my rubber on.
Yes.
Couldn't find my penis. Sorry.
Right. They don't make them to fit. I need a rubber band and a rubber. I got to secure it.
I will say this: 25 was a family number in my family, so I mean, I get. But hey, if I had to wear 24, I'll stick with 24.
Yeah, I'll take vet minimum.
It's true. And they're not only Bama fans, but Bengal fans. That's what I said. I'm like, they know what they're doing. You get 81,
Right.
let them get 3 a few years from now. It's
Right.
like P with 85 and then 5. Like,
Man, if Burton has to ask for 3 in 2 years or something to give him 3, that's a fucking travesty, because they had a shot right now. Nobody's number 3.
I will say this: it's interesting. Nixon leaves, Tyler Boyd leaves, and they give their numbers away just like that. It's really weird to.
Well, Nixon's weirder because they didn't even give it to the same position.
Right, exactly. I did make a comment like it is going to be weird seeing 28 on the defensive side now.
83 is a tight end, not a receiver. So, but I also want a 0 because you can have a 0 number now.
Who would have been 0? Jenkins.
No. I'm fine with Jenkins being 90. McKinley Jackson. He would have automatically, the grade I gave him, bumped up with him wearing number 0 for this.
Yeah.
He was number 3 in college, so maybe
When
he
you
should be
got
number
that-
3.
When you
Maybe
got
he
that, yeah, when you got 0 on, man, it's like when you hit that field, you got to prove that 0 every time you step on the field.
So I would have liked
Why
to
have
see
the
McKinley
Bengals not
Jackson
made a 0 yet? What are we waiting on for a 0?
No. You know that would be cool.
Well, that's for a different reason.
What would be cool?
Reason.
0 or double 0? Would you rather have a player?
They don't do a double 0. So I
Yeah,
don't
they're
think
not
that
allowed
matters.
to do double zeros, but double 0 is cool. I'm a Kentucky basketball fan, so old Tony Delk, double 0 back in the day, man. That's my guy. Just saying.
You in Kentucky. You and James.
Just slide it in there, man. Speaking of Kentucky, that Deion Walker.
Yes, he is. I saw him.
He's 6'6", 348.
He'll probably
He
go
had
number 2
7.5
overall.
sacks last year.
He might go
7.5.
number 2 overall next year.
Everyone can't go top 5, top 10.
Chop, we all know you're all over Harold Perkins. If the Bengals got Harold Perkins next year, you'd probably be running around. You and Kerry be running around naked all of this.
Bengals ain't gonna get Harold Perkins next year unless they trade their entire draft 2 years. in a
Chop,
row.
he's projected.
So
One person it's like the 18th pick next year.
I like Harold Perkins, but he's 220 pounds and he's an edge rusher, basically.
Yeah.
That's not ideal.
He's a linebacker.
Well, how good did he look as a linebacker last year for you guys?
Let's just take out last year. Last year doesn't count. Last year doesn't count, Dale.
So don't speak
Last year.
You guys got Brian Kelly. You let Brian Kelly come in, you know.
Shut the fuck up over there, Greg. Come on now. It's going to be a great year for LSU, and Harold Perkins Jr. is going to come out, and I can't wait to see where he goes.
And then Brian
Kelly
says he's going to stay. He's all committed. And then next thing you know, bye-bye.
Well, I mean,
Alabama?
in Brian Kelly's defense here, though, it was always a move up. Where the fuck do you move up from there?
Alabama.
Shut the fuck up, Greg. You don't move up from Alabama. It's the same goddamn conference.
I mean, Nick Saban was
Same
LSU.
conference. Now that Nick Saban's not there, it's,
I know,
you know what I'm
then
saying?
he went to Bama, and look what he did at Bama.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm not upset if Brian Kelly goes to Bama, because then we'll get someone in that I don't have a grudge against.
No, Chap. Like I still like LSU. I just don't like Brian Kelly. What he did to UC and what he did to Notre Dame. He has proven, and I get it, man. The money's good, but the way I just don't like how he handled himself in both those situations.
Hey, I'm not saying I do. I'm just saying he's the coach of the team that I like. So what am I going to do about it?
No, I know. Yeah, and he goes, and no, he does do a good job with offense. I just don't think he gives a crap about defense hardly.
Yeah, but I like when he did that fake accent when he first got into
Yeah, right. Family.
It's like
Family.
all of a sudden, it's like, whoa, this is incredible.
But Perkins is going to be good this year. Please,
No,
if they just use him right, he'll be dominant.
Well, what is using him right? as an edge rusher.
On the ball, not off the ball.
No, I like Perkins. It's just and he can run the ball some too. He's fun.
Yeah,
guys, when I go back to saying this is like I was talking to Daniel about. I still think we need a third running back. I really do think we do.
His name's Travion Williams. The Bengals.
Okay, I like Travion, but I'm just saying.
I know. I'm just telling you.
I'm just telling you. Samaje Perine, Broncos could save $3 million cutting him. You mean to tell me you would not pick up the phone and try to get Samaje Perine?
Well,
back?
why do you think the Broncos need $3 million though?
I'm just saying.
I mean, because they have what? Esame, Javonte Williams, and Perine. They have 3 guys. So,
I thought that Samaje didn't he when he left here wasn't he just a little bit disgruntled or something about the?
No, he wasn't disgruntled. He was just offered a bigger role. And
that bigger role turned out good, huh?
Yeah, turned out really good.
Talk to.
I just okay, and I don't see him coming back to a bigger role either with Zach Moss and now drafting Chase Brown. So now you would say like, I just don't see it. But hey, I didn't necessarily see Von Bell either. But once he's released, boom, he's here. So if he does get released, then yeah, Greg, it would make sense if he gets released.
Yeah, and another thing, I don't know if it's true or not. Who was that Bears running back? It was all over Twitter that the Bengals have contacted.
Khalil Herbert, I think.
Yeah, we'd have to trade for him. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if it's like a 4th-round pick, yeah, I'm not trading a 4th-round pick.
Well, we already have Justin Jefferson, right? Speaking of Bengals Twitter.
Yeah,
right. That's true.
Be a last-minute trade.
Bench, right?
That is true.
Because that was basically a done deal. What I'm
not gonna lie. Like 2 or 3 weeks ago before the draft, I was thinking, man, we got Justin Jefferson. It's all good. Oh man, but I'm happy where we're at now.
I mean, you would have not had Higgins and not had Mims for Justin Jefferson. So now that we know what the players are, and maybe something else,
right?
I think that David's talking about Noah Cain here.
No. I like the fact when you and Kieran told me that Noah Cain is a power guy and that's what we need. Let's see what he does.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I'm a fan of
Yeah. Hey, look, man, I'm not gonna lie. I know people think I'm a huge LSU homer, but Noah Cain was not on my radar picks at any pick in the draft. When we did our running back show,
wasn't in the
Noah
draft
Cain wasn't even mentioned.
Yeah. Exactly.
I wanted Ray Davis, man, and our Aldrich Esme.
Buffalo, man.
Buffalo.
I wanted Tyree Tracy.
Man, I like their draft. I don't like that Chase Claypool shit. That's stupid.
I wanted Tracy so badly. I'm like, God.
Yeah. The Giants nabbed him. That's when you were down in the dumps, and then the Giants nabbed him. I was like, God damn it. We just got Greg back on here.
And
on the show Saturday.
Man.
Well, Melton, you heard Dale. He mentioned Melton. I wanted Melton with that last 7th-round pick.
Well, he was an undrafted guy. So
I know.
If we could have brought him in as an undrafted guy, that would have been. But, I mean, the punter and the linebackers, which, I mean, we talked about on an earlier show. We didn't talk about today with Daniel. But I think McNamara will compete with Robbins, obviously. But then, like, Aaron Casey and then that long-name kid from Wisconsin could compete for a special teams / role. Would you guys still potentially bring Marcus Bailey back? Because I don't see why not. He has a sign
why not, man? It's not like he's going to cost a lot of money. He'll come back for vet minimum probably.
And you could put him on the goal line. Like, we seen what he did on the goal line, man, blocking for the Hubbard touchdown.
But so like Dan was talking, we were talking about possibly adding another veteran corner. Besides corner, what position, if we sign in any more players, what position do you expect them to address besides corner? Even if we don't even know if they're going to do corner, but what position do you expect them to?
Well, I won't say expect maybe because they need depth there, but also what I would like to see is guard.
Yeah,
and it's not just
you go.
We say Dalton Reisner because we like him. He's been a starter and he could compete with Volson. But it could even be Sharping. I think they still need depth at guard. You've got Cody Ford. What else do you have for depth?
Yeah, I tell you what, I know we're loaded up, but man, Calais Campbell, I would still take him in a heartbeat right now. I know
I don't see the roster spot though.
What's that?
I don't see the roster spot.
Then Dale, you make room for a roster.
I know. Trust me, Greg. I would like him too. I just
Dale, you sometimes you got to take the gloves off, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Especially
You gotta go for it. You gotta pound it in there. You gotta pound it in there, man. You gotta make everybody work for their spot, Dale. You just can't go in there and give someone their spot. You gotta take it from them.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm just saying, man. We're in a good spot right now, and we got to keep that train rolling through the brick walls, man.
Damn it, David. I was going to tag David earlier because everybody's talking about that now that his interview came out from the Bengals and stuff. I've seen it. I know what you're that's just his face, guys.
Yeah.
But some people, I think it was draft guy Jared, he was like, I like him even more because he constantly looks baked.
Like him right now.
I just woke up, Greg.
Gotta
give me some time. Hold on. Let me get my
chop the way your face looked. Four Loko. Here we
go. I keep it up there. That Four Locos, I'm drinking it when the Bengals win the Super Bowl.
You're not going to work tonight, are you?
Maybe. What's a little Four Locos? So what?
Okay. Just say it's medicine.
Nursing job.
Just say
I'm off. I'm off tonight. So far. If they call me in, I'll probably go, but I'm off.
Money talks, Greg.
Yeah.
Greg,
here you
got
go.
wood
That's
in your hand?
Williams. It's all good.
No woman, no cry.
Yeah. So what's up other than that, fellas? We're going into the weekend here. Monday, I'm not going to be on the show. I got a dentist appointment.
Well, Miss wasn't on the show, so water leaked last night under the kitchen sink. I'm laying down to sleep. It's 11 o'clock. I have fucking blood. It's like, God damn, did you fuck? Is someone dead? Like, I don't know what the fuck you're yelling about. Half asleep. I don't know what happened. She said there was something under the sink. It was fucking leaking, and then the whole fucking top flew off, and then there's nothing but just water shooting out the fucking thing. So that was fun. I had to turn the water off. Got somebody in here to fix it because it was out of my expertise today.
Did you have to do a lot of cleaning today, or?
Yeah. I was still doing a lot of laundry. I mean, there's a lot of yeah. It's not great, not ideal. So I obviously called off work. That got fixed. I'm like, all right, cut some grass. Think, all right, I'm good. I can get a shower now. The water works again. I stink like a motherfucker from last night and fucking cutting grass. So I'm like, all right, get a shower. Fucking sit on my bed. Fucking one of the dogs shit on my bed.
Right after your shower.
Yeah,
right on the
fucking
bed.
What the fuck? Didn't even see it. And they've never done that. So, surprise. Hey, your last fucking 12 hours has been great.
Did you have to wash your bed again?
Yeah, doing all that. Fucking had to get another shower. Had to fucking clean the shit off my body, Greg. It was real fun.
Not good.
Then I come down here, the internet's not working.
Okay.
Then I jumped out because, I got on the regular internet, but I knew it was shit. It's fucking being shitty. So fucking get off there. Finally get this fucking working. Hop back in. Oh, god damn. What a fun fucking day it's been, boys.
Hey, but you're with us now, Dale, so everything's fine.
Right. Yeah, and the dot bot happened.
Yeah, I hope you're happy about that. I really hope you're happy about that.
Week. That dot bot was great. And Daniel even loved it so much, he said he's coming down to Lot 1 to do it with you.
Okay, but guys, I'm taking this bat and burying the hell out of that dot bot if I have.
Now Daniel's going to take it to the right report, man. They'll be talking about that. Daniel might even do the dot bot on the right report. Who knows? State of the jungle.
No. Dot bot. I mean, Daniel keeps saying, "What's the dot bot?" I'm like, Daniel, no, let's just keep going. Let's just go.
You can thank Crypt.
Thanks a lot, Crypt.
All over it.
Thanks a lot, Crypt.
They needed it. Right. Hey, they're loyal viewers of this show, and they wanted the dot bot. And who are we / you to not give them what they want?
It's coast to coast, right? Because
Dale,
South Carolina.
Dale, I'm gonna remember this next time.
Like Oregon or something.
Yeah, Dale, I'm gonna remember this next time with you on something. Okay, what if you had to sleep with sheep or something?
What?
Well, he would have to sleep with a sheep on the
That
show
was
first
you.
for
That
people
was
to
you
ask
that
for
talked
it
about
back.
sleeping with sheep.
Yeah.
My God.
No, I
we
was
just
making a
talked
point to
about
a rumor that was getting spread around him in the NFL. And I said, what if someone spread a rumor that I sleep with sheep or something?
What?
And
Greg
it was
sleeps
you
with sheep?
spreading it for no reason.
Well, I heard it does feel like a woman.
Okay, this is done.
That's what I'm hearing.
Man, Greg's putting the wood in his mouth. He's getting so
Yeah.
excited.
You know, the whole time we're talking about it, talking about sheep, he's playing with his wood.
Yeah. And Matt says it's what we pay for.
That's
You
right.
know, Matt is a Brew Crew, full Brew Crew member that pays monthly for this service.
And he came to the
I don't know what
the draft
service
party.
it is.
Hey, Kelly
missed it.
I
Kelly missed the dot bot. You got to show a little bit of the dot bot.
Just one
I hurt my
one
ankle.
motion, Greg.
I hurt my Kelly. Just wind back in the show and you'll find it.
Kelly doesn't know how to do technology like that. He doesn't know how to rewind. You're going to have to help him out.
No, I hurt my ankle.
Sheepish, are we?
Yeah. But no, Dale, what kind of motor do you have, man? Do you have like a diesel, a John Deere diesel like I do, 4-wheel drive?
I have a push mower, Greg.
This is a push mower, man. I mean,
And I'm fat, so imagine how much my back hurts every time my fat ass is out here push mowing my yard.
Well, Dale, man, just call me up, man. I'll just tell you. See, hey,
and then it's like, oh, my fat ass is done with the yard. I'm feeling good. Okay, the fucking water's fixed. Good day. Let's turn this day around. Fucking dog said, "Hey, shit,
dog shit.
You didn't see it. You fucking laid in it."
Well, here's what I'll just tell you. See, hey, I got to go to Portsmouth for something. I'll be right back. I got to buy something, and I just got to take the mower with me to get looked at or something. I'll just mow your lawn for you, Dale. We're all good to go.
Yeah, but you got to do it like 3 times a week because Dale's out there like 3 times a week mowing that yard.
Why do you mow 3 times a week, man? It just once a week.
I don't mow 3 times a week. But you got to mow within a week where it's really tall again.
Once a week, buddy. That's all you need.
Yeah. Once every 5 to 6 days.
5-6 days.
Okay, fine. Whatever, man.
I don't cut grass.
I was mowing like a dog today.
Did you kill any ducks?
No, but I'm pretty sure I killed a squirrel.
Yeah, what's the duck population out there in Portsmouth?
Oh, no, there's a lot of ducks around.
You might get Greg out there just on that alone.
Yeah.
You got ducks running around the yard. You'll wake up one day and there'll be a tractor outside. You'll be like, what the fuck? Greg's out there mowing your grass, chasing down ducks.
He ain't mowing the grass. He's chasing ducks.
I don't have any ducks. If they're in your yard, your grass gets cut too.
Yeah.
Might be a fucked up pattern depending on which way you train that duck to run.
Yeah.
I do not have any of the bluegrass.
No, you live far away from Kentucky. I mean, you're close to
far
Virginia,
away.
right? West Virginia.
I don't live far away. Fucking South Shore, Kentucky is within 5 minutes.
Oh, I thought that was West Virginia.
No, it's Kentucky. You do always say that. I just assumed you were screwing around.
Man, I don't know geography.
That's fine. It's basically all the same region.
Yeah, Appalachia.
We've all married each other at this point.
Exactly, yes.
From my area in Kentucky and West Virginia.
Yeah.
They're related.
And my wife's from Hamilton, so it's no better.
We've done, brought the branches together in the family tree.
You're right. The family tree is intertwined.
They are intertwined.
Right. The two have become one. Anyway,
when 2 families join together, it's like, wait, we're related. It's the same.
Yeah, it used to be a big feud out there in Portsmouth, and then they consummated it with a marriage, and then they just stayed within the same family the whole time. Matt says he's from Hamilton, Hamiltucky. My wife used to say, I'm from Harrison, so my wife used to tell me, like, people make fun of Harrison. We made fun of Harrison and Hamilton, and I said, well, the difference is there, Sarah, that everybody else was making fun of Hamilton.
Wait, do you live in Portsmouth, Ohio, or Portsmouth, Virginia? So if you live in Portsmouth, Ohio, I mean, shit.
That means you guys need to get together.
He knows everything we're talking about, man. Well, I can't afford the river, but we go to the brewery sometime. These guys come in, we'll all hit up the brewery, be like, oh, brewery. Yeah. Be
Kelly's
like,
down there in Walton, Kentucky. That's about 30 minutes from here.
Yeah. Portsmouth, Ohio.
Maybe 20, 25.
Oh yeah. What part, man? like Portsmouth, New Boston.
Oh, here you go. He's your neighbor.
Yeah. I mean, not that any of it's big, but Lucasville.
If you yell out your window right now,
West
Wade
Portsmouth,
could probably hear you.
McDermott. How close are you to the brewery? I bet we're both within 5 to 10 minutes of the brewery.
Isn't everybody in Portsmouth 5 or 10 minutes from the
yeah,
brewery?
don't worry about it, Chop. Okay,
Don't
like
worry
okay. See, I was about to say if he's New Boston can be up by the Walmart. New Boston's about 20 minutes from my house to go to the Walmart.
Oh, look, he
Just
is
saying.
New Boston.
I know.
That means he's got that accent like Kieran.
What's the business, bruv?
Yes. All right. Well, look at that. Now you got a friend to hang out with at the river or the brewery.
Yeah.
That's part of the brew crew.
Dale,
I live in McDermott area.
Dale,
so.
do you live in a van down by the river?
No, but I've had sex down by the river.
Also, you live in a house
flood
down by
wall.
the creek.
Wade, you ever had sex down by the flood wall when you were younger? That was a spot, man. I had a cop come up one time too.
What's your address?
I like 16, but still, you know.
What's your address, Dale? Wade's asking.
McDermott?
McDermott.
Not very big.
Wait, is McDermott and Portsmouth? They're both in the same area, right?
Oh yeah, Greg. So I'm in McDermott, Greg, and the brewery is in Portsmouth.
Okay.
So we drove from my house to the brewery. How long did that take? 5 minutes?
2 or 3 minutes, I assume.
Exactly.
The same way from New Boston, right? You're just coming from a different side. Am I getting that correct?
Yep.
All right. So the brewery's in the middle of McDermott and New Boston.
Yeah.
All right. Look at me with the geography.
Working Waverly, yeah. Fucking man, you best tell me you have some Cardo's pizza, Wade. And speaking of pizzas, Cardo's Pizza in Waverly is my favorite pizza in the world, without a doubt.
Better than La Rosa's?
1,000 times.
Well, it's got to be good, Greg, because you said that the pizza
No, I did not
brewer
say
was
shit.
better than La Rosa's.
Yeah,
I did not say
brewery
shit.
is good, but Cardo's Pizza in Waverly, elite.
You remember when Greg said he liked it better
I
than
don't
La
remember
Rosa's?
shit. I don't remember shit.
All right, I got to pee, man. We might as well keep this rolling. Fucking none of us
Okay.
got to work. Fuck it. Let's
I
have some
don't
fun,
have to
man.
work. Just keep it live all night.
Yeah.
For
Okay.
those listening on fucking Twitter X, and I don't know what the fuck the conversation's labeled on there, but we have gone off the rails from our football conversation.
Yes, we have.
We had Daniel Alameda on here from the Right Report, First Star Logistics crew that fucking broke down his opinions on our draft, and now we went off the rails talking about Dotbot, talking about Portsmouth, Ohio, and the best pizza in Portsmouth, Ohio. Yeah. That Greg likes better than Cincinnati's own La Rosa's from time to time.
Yeah.
Hey, look, man, it's good to throw some variety in there.
No. Look, guys, no, I love their pizza there, man. We were sitting there for a couple hours, and man,
Yeah.
when you lay food in front of me, man, if you say, Greg, don't eat it, that's just not going to happen, man. That pizza was legit.
Anybody that ever met Greg and had a meal with him wouldn't call him Big Savage Greg. He would be nicknamed Dyson.
Yeah, I eat that food fast.
Because, man, inhale. Boom, gone. Like that chick that took that sandwich on Coneheads, Greg's a little faster than her
Probably so.
at eating. I'll be like tucking my napkin in my shirt, and Greg's done.
Yeah,
But it leaves you time to do other things, Greg.
it does leave you times to learn a new language or to learn your.
Yeah, Greg knows another language now because of how fast he eats. Go ahead and give us a sample, Greg.
I got to
What
hear this.
Yeah, what up?
What's up?
What language is that? Sound like English.
What up?
Greg,
Well,
why don't you get a piece of cake from your freezer? I mean, ass. And
Yeah,
eat
You
go
know,
get
I save that at night. I actually have 2 flavors out. It's stalling right now.
Hey, speaking of the Reds game,
Yes, it
Greg
is.
and I are going tomorrow night.
Yes,
So-
we are going.
And my brother's going to be there too.
Wait, they have 50 West burgers. If those who do go to the Reds games, get the 50 West burger. I want to try the new 50 West nacho burger they have.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You get like a cheese helmet to dip your.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just lick that cheese I'll just lick that helmet with my tongue, man.
You'll lick the helmet of what?
The cheese. I'll just lick that.
Yeah. So tomorrow's May the 4th game, so they're giving away a Star Wars shirt, and I think that they're like people are going to be like Star Wars themed out there on the field and stuff like that. I'm not sure. I've never been to a
There's
May
no
the 4th game.
bobblehead. It's just a shirt.
No, it's just a shirt that won't fit me, so that's good. So we don't have to go down there and stand 3 hours early to get the shirt. But it's pretty elite though. It's got Boba Fett shirt. It's got the Boba Fett helmet on it.
You can hang it on your wall or something.
Fuck it. I don't give a fuck about it. The last time I went for a shirt giveaway, it was a Hawaiian shirt, and then Kieran was like, hey, governor, I don't have any shirt to wear to the Reds game, governor. And I was like, well, here you go, Kieran. This one don't fit me anyway.
He was like, governor?
He was like,
well, Kieran looked like he was going to Hawaii or something. Yeah.
Right. But it was the Reds Hawaiian shirt.
Well, no, I tell you what, go Kieran. Kieran's awesome to go to the FC game, but no, the baseball game, he was sitting next to Santori, and Kieran had to ask Santori what a pop-up was and all that. Kieran's still learning the game, but Kieran has fun there, though.
I was hoping it was a bobblehead giveaway because Greg's my bobblehead guy, man. He got Miley the Fiona one.
The hippo.
Yeah.
I thought that was for Marissa. I thought that was for Marissa, the hippo.
No, it's for Miley.
Oh, okay.
That would have been cool. Star Wars theme.
Hey, but Dale, I am going to the Sam Hubbard event next week, and you know anybody that's a big Sam Hubbard fan?
Me.
Yeah,
me.
Marissa.
Oh, that's right.
I can make you husband. What if I made you husband of the year or something?
It's literally impossible.
Yeah, right.
What if I got Sam Hubbard to take his shirt off or something?
You could have Sam Hubbard and Joe Burrow tag team that woman, and she would still hate me a little bit.
Yeah,
that's what happens when you've been married almost 20 years.
What if you threw in a little bit of DJ Turner? Yeah.
All right, we'll figure out something. Maybe I could cook up something, Dale.
So you want to talk about the Joe Burrow rumors since we're on
Are you talking about
I'm staying out
Joe Burrow's single? Is this Greg, please?
I'm staying out of this one.
No, Greg, it's who cares, right? If he is or
yeah, I don't care.
No.
Whatever, man. He's a young guy. You know what I'm saying? People shouldn't get married young. You should wait till your 30s to get married.
Or never.
Or never. I mean, I was just hoping, Dale, that I could teach people if they wait till their 30s, they get used to being single and just keep it that way.
I mean, hey, love my kids.
And my wife does not watch the show, and she's not in the house right now, so I could say that freely.
There you go. But don't get married. I got married very young, man. Very, very young.
I did not. I learned my lesson at, I don't know how the fuck old I was.
It's man. Don't rush for that. Don't rush for that because it's a lot, man. I think if my wife was sitting beside me, she would say the same thing. Like it's okay.
Right.
Accomplish your goals for yourself first.
I pretty much hit all my goals, man. I really didn't have any goals, but I was doing pretty good. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm doing better now financially. I'll be doing even better when these kids are never gonna move out. Never.
I thought what Huday Joe's wife said was funny though.
Oh yeah. What? Remind me what she said. It was funny.
She said like, well, she fucked up.
Oh, that's right.
She should have got pregnant.
She should have got pregnant. She's like, God damn it, fucking birth control.
Now I ain't saying that, but I'm just saying. I mean that because you and that kid will be set for life.
Yes.
I still wish someone would get me pregnant.
What's the child support when your income is $275 million? What is your child support payment?
Money we will never see in our
right. Yes,
on,
I mean it's more than vet minimum in the NFL.
But no, man,
like literally there'll be kids on Joe's team.
I respect them. I respect
yes,
whatever. Like Joe's a very
he's
private
always
guy
kept
anyways.
it very private.
Yeah.
When they came out with the rumor that he was engaged, that was never confirmed. Now there's a rumor he's like split up. that's not confirmed. So,
yeah, man. And I didn't want to shit on that person saying it, whatever. I mean, she's a Bengals fan. But like, that's the world I think she kind of lives in, from what I've seen, was like, you know, she lives in that media, and it's like, all right, that's cool and all, but I just, man, these guys, they already can't go out. They already can't live a normal life. Like, and
Right,
boo-hoo, he makes $275 million. Shit, you know, I get that too. But I'm just saying, man, you know,
Well, they can't even
sometimes
drive
it's okay
down
to
the-
let a private life be private.
they can't even drive down the road, Dale. I saw a video on Twitter where Joe Burrow is driving down the road and people are like driving next to him, speeding up and trying to keep up right next to him. I mean, that's dangerous on the road.
Really? Like, really? I didn't see
Yeah,
that.
and they were recording him like they were going like, it's Joe Burrow. He was in his Porsche. And they're like, it's Joe Burrow, it's Joe Burrow. And he's just like staring straight down the road. He's
Yeah,
not-
I'm
not
trying
even
to
looking.
drive.
But you know, when you're driving, you got these crazy fuckers right next to you with their fucking cameras out, and you're like, and they're speeding up, slowing down,
Yeah.
staying even with you. That's like nerve-wracking when you're trying to drive.
Bro, that is brutal. Like, for real. I don't wish that upon anybody, like to have to
No.
deal with that, you know, like,
If I was Joe, I would just get driven, like in with dark tinted windows in the back seat. Just like get a regular like a Cadillac or Lincoln or something. Get somebody to drive you back and forth to practice with some tinted windows in the back, and
Oh, no.
nobody knows it's you.
tinted windows are a must.
Yes.
Even if I'm driving myself, I'll be like, damn, I got the whole front tinted. I can't even see.
Matter of fact, I have a commercial driver's license, Joe. If you need to drive,
Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you guys. Speaking of Sam Hubbard, he actually did get engaged today.
did he really?
Well, there you
Yeah,
go, Greg. Way to be a fucking gossiper.
Yeah.
He did. Look on Instagram, you dumb.
All right, bring your face back, Greg. Only I can have my face off the screen. All right, so Sam Hubbard got engaged. Congratulations.
Just don't
I
tell
can't wait to
Marissa that.
Marissa. No, good. Maybe she'll finally realize her dream's dead
Right.
and
She'll
settle
just-
for me and be happy.
She'll give
about
up
it.
and settle for Dale. She'll be like, God
Yeah.
damn it.
That's all I
Well,
want.
fine, Dale.
That's all I want. I just want my wife
Right.
of 20 years to settle for me.
She's like, fine, Dale. Go in there and clean the dog shit off the bed and let's do it.
Yeah. No, she won't say that last.
No. Them some sexy words. Clean the dog shit off the bed and let's do it.
Yeah, bitch.
I would be like, if it was me, I'd be like,
Clean
okay,
the house.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
And
I
would
know
clean
you
the
would,
dog
Joe.
shit up. It's like some lemony snicket shit that happened to you yesterday, Dale.
Yeah, really. Unfortunate events. Yeah.
Yeah.
Today, it was today, like last night into today. It just kept getting worse.
Well, no deal. The next time you have a reading assignment for your class, that should be it because you can relate to that book, right?
Bro. I
Amber
think so.
Turd.
Amber Turd.
Unfortunate events of what happened with Dale Altman today.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think I want to talk about it. I mean,
PTSD. You'll be
beyond
taking
today.
medication for the events.
trying to
With me,
medicate.
they'd be like, pipe burst, Chris. You got to fix that. And I'd be like, I don't know how to fucking fix a goddamn pipe, man.
Well, then when you
Like
said
pipe.
your pipe burst, I thought you meant by something else, but yeah.
My wife would be
I
like, well,
wish.
you're a guy. You should know how to fix that. And I'm like, people go to school for that shit, Sarah.
Exactly.
Like, just because you have testicles, you don't automatically
No,
know
and
how to
I
do
have
plumbing.
like I've done that before, you know, and clearly that hasn't worked out well.
No.
It continues to happen.
Oh, no,
So
guys,
it's like,
guys. I'm
At
around-
some point, it's like, you know what? And then the professional comes in and they're like, okay, I put metal in instead of whatever bullshit you had going on.
Right,
here.
instead
And
of
I'm like,
tinfoil.
and I'm like,
I'll
and
tell
I'm
you
like,
guys.
you're right. You know?
Elmer's glue.
I'll tell you guys a hilarious story. When I had to get my new dishwasher put in, you know, I didn't even know the electric box in my basement. I had to turn. Apparently, you have to turn off the power to put on a new washing machine. I think that's ridiculous, but you know,
Yeah,
To
Greg.
put in a new washing machine?
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
they
it'll get
plug it in.
electrocuted. Yeah.
you gotta plug it in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys didn't know that? Oh God! See, I'm at least more advanced than you guys.
I would just unplug the old one and plug
Hey,
the
hey,
new
no,
one
no,
in.
no. You know what I did one time?
That's like
I
when
was-
you're dealing with water, man. You gotta shut the damn water off.
Also,
there one time-
Dale
no.
learned with the plumbing.
Hey,
You don't
when
use
you start
JV
the
water.
car, it does matter
Don't
with
put
plus
duct
and
tape
negative.
on. You can't fix a water leak with duct tape.
Right.
No.
When I was in high school, I was told duct tape fixes everything. It did not.
Duct tape and scissors, man. Or duct
Yeah.
tape and what was the thing besides duct tape you need? Your survive. Oh, WD-40. Duct tape and WD-40 is the only two tools you need.
Yeah.
Greg still needs some fucking WD-40 for that fucking chair.
Greg has no idea what WD-40 is. He's like, is that some kind of shit they make?
No,
in
it's
Korea?
I know what WD-40 is. We use it at work, you donut.
Yeah. You ought to borrow a squirt for that chair.
Yeah.
I
Just
borrow a
squirt a little bit, squirt a
Can I
little bit in a
borrow
baggie.
squirt?
Yeah.
How do you bring? Oh, jeez. Good Lord.
That chair's talking shit.
Notice
Does that chair ever talk to itself in your room and you go, holy shit, here's a good
No, I'll tell you guys one time I thought I had a bad night. No, I'll tell you a funny story. I had my alarm system in my house one time. It just had these phases where the alarm would go off, and this happened in the middle of the night one time. I was freaking the fuck out, and I see, like, apparently I'm a heavy sleeper. I slept through the alarm, but I wake up, I'm like, what are these lights doing at my house? Blue and red lights. I'm like, oh shit, it's the cops. I'm getting a t-shirt. I'm trying to put a t-shirt on, and I hear a loud bang sound on my door and all that and stuff. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, officers, I'm sorry. They're like, yeah, we were kind of suspicious because the alarm went off inside the house. I could not sleep for the rest of the night. I was ready to shit my pants.
That fucker that fucker you put under the stairs woke up, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's not supposed to come
That
out.
body wasn't dead.
He puts the lotion on the skin.
No, I slept through an alarm. I'm like, oh shit. Like the cops are in my house. So I'm like running to the door. They're banging on the door. I'm like, what if I open the door? They're like, freeze, don't move.
That's the motion detector for the guys that Greg keeps in the basement.
But no, they immediately said, yeah, we were a little suspicious because it was coming inside the, yeah.
I was thinking the same thing, Robert.
It
One
was
of
a
them damn
duck.
ducks.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it probably was.
Ghost duck.
I've never used red WD-40 for lube.
Oh, well. Fuck, David, you just talked chopping in the experiment tonight.
Well, I have to have a chance to get some anal.
No, I mean, you just use it on
Anal
yourself.
lube.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay.
I need an anus.
Well, Greg, what are you doing tonight?
Yeah, what are you doing tonight, Greg? It's Friday night. You said you ain't got to work. I'm going to pick up some WD-40 and I'll be over to Madeira.
Whatever
To fix your chair and your butthole.
Yeah, to fix your chair.
Yeah. Well, no,
Not
the
gonna
thing I'm
put it in
thing
your
I'm
butt.
fixing is my couch because I need to sit down, lie down on it.
You're inviting me to lie down on the couch.
Yeah.
What are you trying to get this smoke and Madden, Greg?
Yeah. No, man, I'm going to beat Santori one of these days, man. I just can't beat him.
All right, well, you can practice on me. I've only
No, you
Greg
beat
one
me.
time.
Yeah, so
one
so
time,
for
though.
listeners
You
out
beat
there,
me like
Dale
30
accused
games.
me of letting him win. I did not let you win.
Okay.
Hey, when you guys do that, you need to set up Greg the stream or something so I can watch and hear you guys fucking bullshitting back and forth.
I don't even usually say much, but man, Greg, when Greg was losing, Greg really got like angry. When Greg's winning, he's like, sorry, bud.
Sorry, bud. He
I
scored a
intercepted
touchdown. He's
you
like, sorry,
again."
bud.
Yeah, he's like, sorry, man. I'm like,
Hey,
Greg,
man,
why are you
remember your face,
apologizing?
man. When I'm losing, man, I don't like to lose, man. I fucking take that shit seriously.
He was very upset when I was winning. But you picked a bad team. That's all it was.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, I got to get off here.
I got to poop.
All right. Well, Greg, you ready for some Madden?
When I feel like it.
Are you gonna come back like on here after we're off, and that way I can watch it?
I won't be down here.
No.
I mean, you want
If
Greg
you leave
to
it
set
on,
up a
if you
stream
leave it
for
on,
you.
Greg can take this laptop out there and I can watch it.
I don't feel like doing all that.
God dang it, Greg! I guess I'll
Come
just
on, man.
fucking-
Chop needs entertainment for them.
Well, no,
we
we could just be on. We could be on a 3-way call or something. We can do a 3-way on a phone call.
You want to do a 3-way with me and
All
Dale?
right, guess we'll do a 3-way tonight, guys.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll even play a game of Family Feud, you know?
Oh no.
You guys don't like Family Feud?
Well,
Neither
because I lose, I can't. I have to think. I don't like games where I have to think.
Hey,
See,
man,
Wade.
shout out to Wade, man. I said,
Yeah.
Get out,
Your
buddy.
neighbor.
you guys come down. We go to the brewery again because I don't do much. I'm just being honest.
Well, Dale, I bugged you. How many times you're like, I don't know. But in the summertime, when
I
you're off,
guarantee that we'll get to that brewery
Yeah.
before we get to hold on, I'm looking here. It was in the comments. Where'd it go? The chopped cheese sandwich.
Yeah, I know.
We'll get to that brewery
Greg's
way
like,
before that chopped cheese sandwich. Daylily will shut down. They will fucking close.
Yes, they will.
No, we
before that.
went to the brewery before. It was fun. Hey,
It
I've
was
been
great.
up there. We've been to Midwest. I mean, I know that one time Chop, you know,
No, we're not talking about that.
Yeah, we're not talking about that one. But you know, I drive up that way a lot. You guys come down, have to come down again. Wade, meet up, whoever.
Yeah, Wade will have to meet us this
Yeah,
time.
absolutely.
The old P-Town.
We'll just make it a deal. Anybody that lives anywhere close to Portsmouth can meet us at that brewery sometime. We'll play some Keno
From the
and eat some pizza and drink
740.
some pictures.
If you ain't really from here. Oh, yeah. That's a song, man.
And a lot of people don't know, man, that Portsmouth Spartans are the original Detroit Lions.
It's 100% facts. I have said that 100,000 times on here.
Oh, and, hey guys, the schedule is coming out soon. I believe next Thursday.
The 9th, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably what our Monday show should be. Our schedule predictions.
Right.
I know you won't be on here, Chop. Primetime games. You got any? A division game. We'll play a division game on the road.
Well, plus we're all wondering if we're going to play in Germany this year too, because Carolina's got that Germany game.
It's true. You would think they would have just announced that stuff like even earlier.
I thought that they always announced the international games before the schedule came out.
Boom. Look at this. Look at this. Portsmouth, where it's really at. The first NFL night game was here.
Yep.
Spartan Stadium. Just saying.
Robert says odds we get sent to England. I don't know. I think that the opponents that we face this year, if we were going to travel, it would be
Germany.
The
Panthers.
The Panthers, yes.
So
But
look out for that.
I'm hoping to God that we play the Chargers on the 27th of October.
I just wonder how many primetime games we'll get, which we can discuss all that on Monday, except for you, Chop.
Except for me, right? I'll be watching after I get to work. I'll rewind it and watch. And
So I'm gonna have to look into the opponents. I'll have all that ready for Monday. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Yep.
2 hours. We did 2 hours after a marathon last week, so fun show. Greg, who we sponsored by?
2 hours ain't shit compared to that 7
Oh, yeah,
hours.
that's right. No. We are sponsored by 50 West Beer, Midwest Best Barbecue. 2 awesome sponsors of the show.
Not the leprechaun.
The Screaming Leprechaun.
Screaming leprechaun.
Yeah.
Screaming leprechaun.
Sounds like that guy that fucked Miss Piggy.
Hey, everybody.